Here we go. Here we go. Here we Ninjago. Here we Ninjago. Yeah. Stra. Brrrapumpa. To through of a Lincoln ba. Yeah. Brrrapa. Okay. Today, I am doing some more Ninjago timeline stuff, and the reason why I'm not being super energetic right now, because the way I'm gonna start this stream off, I might get claimed, I might get striked, but it's worth it. If it's a claim, if it's a strike, this thing's going down immediately. I don't give a fuck. If I get striked, this you'll never see this video again. I'll redo it. So fair warning. I am a risk taker. So, Ninjago. Great show. Amazing show. Lovely show. Ninjago Dragons Rising. Equally as good in some parts, some others is not great, but that's natural with stuff. But in my opinion, the greatest part of Ninjago Dragons Rising, which we aren't even at in the timeline yet, but I just want to get to this. The greatest part of Dragons Rising, by far, is the intro. The intro song. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, because I will for sure get fucked up. But anyway, actually, the grit too. God, she has such a good voice. She has such a good fucking voice. So I'm not gonna lie. Nobody tell her this. Nobody tell her this. For the love of God. But I say this. I have a little bit of a crush on her because of her voice. All right, I'm gonna say it. I'm just a little crush. So I did some digging, as you do, and I found her Spotify, which is, by the way, her songs are fucking really good. I highly recommend. I love her fucking music. She only has 5 out right now. I really hope to see more. But yeah, I highly recommend checking her out. Also, my camera is way too goddamn bright. God has been, like, knocking on my door all day. Let me just turn that down. Yeah, go check her out on Spotify. She is an amazing artist. And let's get into Ninjago.
Hey there,
oh boy.
Thanks for tuning into DuckBricks. I'm Chris, and welcome to another episode
Please
of
don't
Ninjago
copyright
Retold,
me, God.
the
And
show where I
please,
tell the entire...
DuckBricks, do not sue me. I'm doing my best here to be transformative and funny and give you some support. So please do not sue me. I will give you all of my money. I don't have any money. I'll give you a water bottle if you don't sue me. All right, it's fair trade.
entire story of LEGO Ninjago's 11-year run from the beginning to the end in chronological order.
11 years.
Previously, we discussed the prologue and chapter 1 of the story, and now it's time to delve into pretty much the main plot of the full seasons of the show, chapter 2, Rise of the Serpentine. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the episode.
Oh, short intro this
Previously
time.
on Ninjago Retold, Siege of the
You'll
Skulkin.
make sure I don't get striked.
After
What the
years
fuck are you
banished
gonna
in
do?
the darkness of the underworld, Lord
It's funny because I got an email being like blah 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 blah, like YouTube, like, oh yeah, you want to do this thing, and then it proceeded to ask me if I had any issues with copyright strikes or guideline strikes, and I was like, no, but that might change.
Lord Garmadon strikes back, sending forth ghoulish warriors on a mission to reclaim the golden weapons of Spinjitzu, artifacts with the ability to reshape the land of Ninjago itself in his own dark image. With the old alliance of elemental masters long disbanded and the realm in desperate need of new heroes, Master Wu recruits 4 young ninja, sons of legendary warriors in the past, to battle the darkness of his brother Garmadon. Training at the Monastery of Spinjitzu, Kai, Jay, Zane, and Cole manage to rescue Kai's sister Nia, claim the golden weapons, and descend into the underworld itself, only for Garmadon to make his escape to the realm of madness.
A lot happened in those first two pilot episodes.
Ninja to prepare for the Dark Lords of...
What was it? Kai became a ninja. They got all 4 golden weapons. They got 4 dragons. They went to hell, got back, beat, or I guess they didn't beat Garmadon technically, but like they did like 27 different story points in 2 episodes.
Events will return and grapple with the sins of the past.
What are they?
With the shadow of the ancient Serpentine Wars once again threatening Ninjago. This is Ninjago Retold.
You're a long way from finding a ninja in these parts, old man.
Lloyd is the Green Ninja. I am the ultimate Spinjitzu master.
Support me, friends, for one last time.
The new Serpentine War has just begun.
My master has arrived.
Yes, it's true.
I feel like 8 months
The
passed
greatest
between the
love
pilots and season
stories
1
do
because of
always
how
end in
out of practice the
tragedy.
ninjas are. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I'm departed.
Control time!
Oh yeah, I just rewatched Day of the Departed. I believe it was the second time I've ever seen it. I watched it yesterday, I think. It was not what I was expecting, because I'd only seen it once. I didn't really remember it. That was not what I was expecting, but it was definitely good. Some parts. I really like that Moro was or like he ended up turning a new leaf right before he died. So it was cool to see him, and like after I saw that I was like, oh, I kind of wish he could have seen more of him as a good guy. And then we got Day of the Departed where he was, a good guy. That was cool to see, because I like good guy. I like when evil turns good. It's always a nice little shift.
I have no son.
I cannot fight you, but I can resist you.
Endings will always come. All we can do is fight to make them good ones.
Protect those who cannot protect themselves.
Oh, you did some insurgents?
You were programmed by the game to lose, but you don't have to.
I want you to promise me that you will always stand up to those who are cruel.
We are the keepers of the amulet.
I just realized Ninjago went on for 11 years. Then they soft reboot the whole thing. They are milking that shit dry. Oh my god. I did not realize that. I'm really curious about what happens. I know I say this every time, but I'm really curious about what happens with that white dragon with all those the golden weapons. I have no idea. Like, I don't think I'll end up watching, because it just is not fun to watch by that point. God, there's so much lore. So much lore.
Episode 2, Rise of the Serpentine. Chapter 1, A Prophesied Savior.
Prophesied? What? I'm sorry. Prophesied Savior? That's not... Hold on. I'm making sure I spell it properly, because I don't know how to spell that word. Pretty sure it's prophesized. Right?
Prophesied.
Prophesied.
Prophesied. Prophesied.
What did he say?
Episode 2, Rise of the Serpentine. Chapter 1, A Prophesied Savior.
Bro does not speak English. Get this man out of here. Where's fuck you? Who's the other person on his team? He has a team, by the way, if you didn't know. He has a team. Get someone else on the team to read this shit, bro. Joking.
It was a new day in the realm of Ninjago.
So good.
The darkness of the Skulkin and
what the
legions
fuck?
of the underworld had been pushed back by the brave new ninja warriors, and for a...
What's going on here? What's going on here? What's with this? It looks good, but little issue here. it takes up like 50% of the screen. So what you're seeing is very little. I don't know why they did this. I don't know if they did it to make it look more like majestic or whatever, but or if they did it to make it seem like, you know, it's like telling a story in like how cartoons do it. But if that is for the reason, if that is the reason, then I suggest punching it out and making what you see a little bit bigger, so it's not so small. But there's also a possible second reason, which is copyright, because I keep getting claimed on my videos, or because of the stuff that I'm showing during them, like the intro music or other things. But you know, it's just, you know,
Ninjago
just saying,
found
you know,
itself.
I know these have already been uploaded, so I can't say anything that will change it. But you know, next
Once
time don't
again,
do that.
At peace. In these rare months without conflict, our four heroes, Kai, Jay, Zane, and Cole, continued to train at the monastery, bonding with each other and their sensei as they honed their skills of spinjitzu and dragon riding. Building a dragon keep into the side of the mountain itself, the four ninja race through the skies.
Oh yeah, speaking of the mountain that the monastery is on top of, apparently it is above the peak of it goes above the clouds, which I believe I'm just gonna look this up because I don't actually know. Anyways, in the last stream, we were watching it and we saw that Kai had to climb up the mountain, like rock climb up the side of the mountain instead of taking the stairs. Clouds are. Let's do the lowest level clouds just to be fair. It's over a mile up in the sky. All right. Specifically, it's like 6,500 feet, which, if you don't know, a mile is 5,280. So it's well over a mile up. That means that Kai had the rock climb over a mile, pretty much straight vertically upwards, which I don't know if that is even humanly possible, like in real life. Then again, that's a show. But anyways, he did something pretty impossible.
And their majestic dragons, speeding through the forest of tranquility and mastering dragon flight as the days grew on. As the ninja bonded, Jay grew particularly close to Kai's sister Nia, with the pair flying on the lightning dragon together across the realm of Ninjago. Not wanting to be left out, Nia began honing her own unique style of fighting as she watched her brother and her friends train, preparing for a time where she could one day protect the realm, just as her parents did in the Serpentine Wars. In the darkness of the underworld, despite Garmadon's absence, the Skulkin grew restless, sending small incursions into the realm of Ninjago to take their revenge on the ninja. Discovering the secret passageway connecting both realms in the Fire Temple, Skulkin General Whiplash, who had seized power in the wake of Samakai and Garmadon's disappearance, led a convoy of skeleton warriors up to the realm of Ninjago. Making his way to the village of Ignatia, Whiplash snuck into the Four Weapons blacksmith shop, lying in wait for Nia or the.
Why do I both remember this and also not at the same time? That's really weird. Did this happen in like season 1? Or was it a flashback? I don't know.
The ninja to return.
I have no idea.
But he would soon find that Nia was a formidable force on her own, and as Nia returned to her former home to gather her belongings to move into the monastery, she was ambushed by Whiplash and his soldiers, fighting off four Skulkin at once while
I thought the beginning episode of season 1 was Lloyd coming in, being like, "I am Lloyd Garmadon," and which, if that is the case, then I have no idea where the fuck this is from.
Oblivious Jay waited outside. Nia managed to beat back the Skulkin General and his henchmen.
Jay was outside?
Forcing the warriors to retreat to the Fire Temple. But the Skulkin incursion would not last long, for days later, the Fire Dragon alerted Kai and Nia to this dark presence in the temple. Despite Kai being captured and losing his sword, Nia swooped in to rescue her brother, collapsing the inter-realm portal entrance and ending the threat of General Whiplash. Others, like Generals Cruncha and Knuckle,
where is this coming from?
Via their own means, commandeering the Skulkin monster truck to rip a portal open between realms at immense speed, hurtling towards the Monastery of Spinjitzu as they made a play for the golden weapons. But as these Skulkins seized the weapons, the power overwhelmed them, and from that day on, Cruncha and Knuckle abandoned their quest for the weapons, choosing instead to live in the realm of Ninjago long term. And with the threat of the Skulkin ended for good, days turned to months, and the ninja continued to train with no sign of evil afoot. Unaware of the many threats lurking just beyond their reach,
I've never
the ninja
seen
grew
them.
tired of their endless training, slowly
that.
growing lazy and complacent.
What do you mean there were 6 short episodes? What? There were 2 pilot episodes, then 6 short episodes, and then they start season 1. What kind of bullshit is that? That's fucking bullshit.
Wasting the potential
How
of
have
their
I
golden
never
weapons
known?
and spending more and more time in the monastery playing games and relaxing. As this time of peace stretched on, famous explorer clutched powers, who in his glory days had led expeditions to far-off lands like Shintaro.
If I hadn't started season 11, I would be so confused right now. Straight up.
And desolate Serpentine
who the fuck is
finally
Clutch?
retired. Instead,
I imagine I'm
writing
gonna get
books
to
that
that
chronicled
point
his
soon,
adventures
though.
and exaggerated tales. Over his time as an adventurer, Clutch Powers managed to uncover dozens of ancient artifacts for his esteemed
They're on
Explorers
YouTube?
Club,
Oh, I'm
such
gonna
as a
watch those.
scroll of forbidden Spinjitzu, relic of the first Spinjitzu master from decades ago, and even
Thank
a
you guys
fang
for the
blade,
knowledge.
tooth of the legendary Great Devourer, Serpentine god who was destined to one day devour the entire realm of Ninjago. It was in this time of tranquility that Lloyd Montgomery Garmadon, son of Misako and
Why does he
Lord
use the
Garmadon,
full
was
government
studying
name?
at Berkeley's boarding school for bad boys, estranged from both his parents. Sent there by his mother Misako in the hope.
Did he say estranged? Definition of estranged.
Estranged mean? Are the person no longer close or affectionate to someone the other remains?
No.
Hopes of preventing a battle
I learned
between
a new word
father and
today.
son, Lloyd had grown bitter and resentful of Misako, and yearned to be more like his father, the Dark Lord of Shadows, who he grew to idolize. But despite his attempts, Lloyd was kicked out of Darkleys, his teachers believing that he didn't have the potential to one day rule the realm. And so, seeking revenge against Ninjago and looking to prove his teachers wrong and follow in his father's footsteps, Lloyd donned a dark robe.
Oh, is that where? Is that? Fuck. Is that why he went into the Demonic Village, being like, "I am Lloyd Garmadon. Give me all your candy." Was that right after he got kicked out?
Drew Oni-like rib cages on his clothing, and made his way to the isolated village of Jamaica,
Oh, he drew
where
that
he hoped to
on there?
terrorize the
I didn't know
civilians by posing as his father returned from the underworld. Just as Lloyd arrived in Jamaica and announced his presence as Lord Garmadon, Wu was in the middle of berating the young ninja for wasting their potential and refusing to train when alarm bells sounded, Nia rushing in to inform them that their nemesis, Garmadon, had been spotted at the village. Stumbling over their weapons and rushing to their dragon pens, the 4 ninja were out of practice, out of shape, and unprepared for any threat. But even still, they scrambled to the village to do battle with what they believed to be Lord Garmadon.
Man, they really thought they were ready to scrap with Garmadon. they were stumbling over shit. They were falling over. Dude, Garmadon would have destroyed them. They weren't even able to do Spinjitzu, right? Because they were that out of shape. Because for those who don't know the lore of Spinjitzu, let me give you a little rundown. I don't know how I know this, but I do. Apparently, someone who is in maximum peak physical condition can only maintain Spinjitzu for a few seconds. Obviously, there are times when they do it for more than just a few, but like maximum, like the best, like the longest you could possibly hold Spinjitzu for is like 10 seconds, basically. I don't know if that's because it's demanding on the body or if it's just because it's fucking, you're spinning at who knows how many miles an hour, or I guess RPM technically. So yeah, anyways, a little lore. So they probably couldn't even do Spinjitzu because they were that out of shape.
And so, in Jamanakai Village, a climactic meeting was about to take place between the 4 ninja and Lloyd Garmadon, son of the Dark Lord.
Imagine instead of just like throwing Lloyd, just just like making fun of him or whatever, and like tying him up by his underwear or whatever. Imagine they just fucking cut his head off. Just like full on R-rated, just Cole takes out the side, just with a little pop the head off, and done. We're done. We don't have to deal with. Lloyd's never gonna be a problem again. Serpentine don't get released. The Serpentine don't get released, which then means that the Stone Army never comes back, which then means that the Overlord never returns, which then means that Pythor never goes, which means Zane never dies, which means Chen never gets his Tournament of Elements, which, like, it all started with fucking Lloyd. If they just killed Lloyd out the gate, everything would have been fine.
But when the ninja arrived on the scene, they were surprised to find that the threat was not, in fact, Lord Garmadon, but his son Lloyd, doing his best to mimic his father as a mere child. Realizing there was no threat, the villagers came forth from their homes, helping the ninja string up Lloyd from the rooftops as punishment for threatening the townspeople, who was more irate than ever, swearing to unleash the fabled Serpentine upon the lands.
Irate, now I know that word. I know that one from Bo Burnham.
Serpentine Wars of old. But as the ninja were celebrating and preparing to return to the monastery, an ancient scroll...
Dareth never do spinjitzu? Does he do spinjitzu? There's no way. There's no... Well, I have to look this up, because there's no goddamn way. There's no way. I don't believe it. No. He never does it. Fucking lied to me.
Scroll.
Season 7 would still happen, but very differently. Yes, Season 7, which is the Time Masters one. Yeah, that one would still happen. But that's about it.
Fell from their bags, for in their haste, they had accidentally grabbed Master Wu's satchel, and not their own. And on this ancient text, the most important prophecy across the realm of Ninjago was outlined. The legend of the Green Ninja. Foretelling a savior who would one day rise above the others and become
that music's
the most
copyrighted.
powerful
I know, because I've used it in a video before and I got claimed.
The scroll outlined this Green Ninja's
but it's
destiny
good.
to defeat the ultimate source of evil and bring peace to the realm. Convinced,
as we had just discovered, he does the exact opposite.
The scroll was referring to Garmadon as the source of evil, and that the legendary Green Ninja was one of them. Kai, Jay, Zane, and Cole were renewed with a new source of motivation, blasting back to the monastery to train harder and more intensely than ever, in a bout to determine who would be the Green Ninja. Encountering Nia attempting to run the training course herself, the 4 ninja asked her to use the training grounds, equipping kendo training armor and wielding the awesome power of their golden weapons to battle in a tournament against each other.
They were not ready
one
for
by
that
one,
shit, dude.
each ninja battled the next as they vied for the title of Green Ninja, still unaware of the true power their weapons possessed. And in a climactic battle between Kai and Cole, the Ninja of Fire lost control of his weapon, blasting waves of flame and heat all over the monastery. Just when all seemed lost, Wu rushed out and seized the shurikens of ice, summoning a cooling whirlwind of ice and snow to quench the flames, and berating his pupils for rushing destiny. Forcing the ninja to promise to continue along their training path before any further talk of the Green Ninja prophecy, Wu told the ninja of the power of their true potential, the ultimate force an elemental master could unlock upon mastery of their element, just as Cole's mother Lily had unlocked decades ago. Chapter 2, Tombs of the Serpentine. And as the ninja trained and re-honed their skills and weapons at the monastery, Lloyd found himself cast out.
Would Attack of the Oni from Season 10 still happen? The merge would probably still happen as well. Well, the merge was caused by something else. It wasn't, it was caused by like the dimension like unraveling, I think, or something like that. Like from if it, I'm not gonna speak on that one because I don't know. But the Attack of the Oni. Let me think here. I haven't seen season 8 through whatever enough, so I can't remember what causes it. Because I know that they go to the land of the Oni and the Dragon, or some of them do. Everyone but Lloyd, basically, they go there. But the Oni were already gone by that point, right? Or they were already dead, I think. Wait, where did the Oni come from? I have no idea. Garmadon would still be evil, though. For sure. Garmadon would be evil to this day if Lloyd died. He'd probably be even more evil because the son is the only thing that he ever... That and Misako are the only thing he ever cared for. Anyways. Fuck.
From Jamanakai, alone
I have no idea.
and vengeful against the ninja who humiliated him and his schemes. Making his way up the mountain to the frozen wastelands of Ninjago, the young villain-to-be stumbled upon an ancient serpentine sculpture frozen in ice, binding tomb of the Hypnobrai tribe. Decades ago, after the conclusion of the Great Serpentine Wars and construction of the Sacred Flutes, the Elemental Alliance sealed away each of the 5 Serpentine tribes in separate tombs, with the mesmerizing force of the Hypnobrai serpents sealed away in the snowy mountains. Inadvertently triggering the opening mechanism of the tomb, Lloyd found the very ground beneath him start to open up. As the snow cleared, the menacing emblem of the Hypnobrai revealed itself, carved directly into solid rock and battered by the elements. Before he had a chance to react, Lloyd found himself sliding into an icy crypt, sealed for years after the Serpentine Wars.
Play that back.
Lloyd found himself sliding into an icy crypt, sealed for years after the...
You hear that? They put in a fucking fading stream.
Chance to react, Lloyd found himself sliding into an icy crypt, sealed for years after the Serpentine Wars. Stumbling into an ominous cave of ice, he came face to face with Slithra, Hypnobrai general from ages ago, who immediately prepared to use his hypnotic power to keep the young Lloyd in his sway, and use him to free the rest of his tribe and the other serpents.
If Lloyd is dead, Garmadon takes over Ninjago. He said that only if he would rule Ninjago, Oni didn't come, so Oni would not come to Ninjago. This is correct, yeah, if he was in power, then the Oni never would have fucking come, because apparently they're scared of him, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, no, that is correct. Yeah, basically, Lloyd caused everything to go wrong. It's his fault. It's all his fault. Everyone blame this green savior. Oh. Bitch, please, shut up.
But in a twist of fate, Lloyd lunged out of the way at the last moment, leaving Slither reflecting his own hypnosis back at him. And just like that, Lloyd became leader of the fearsome Hypnobrai tribe, who began to slither into the light from the darkness of the tomb. Making short work to free the Hypnobrai, Lloyd led his new army of serpents back down the slopes to Jamanakai village, hypnotizing the villagers under their sway. As he forced the townspeople to cater to his every whim, fetching him hordes of candy and treating him like a king, word of his return reached the ninja, who are now back in fighting shape to deal with the threat. Striking from the monastery, the 4 ninja hurtled to the village on their dragons, engaging the Serpentine.
3 days later, they went from super out of shape to peak physical condition. Oh, yeah.
In a rapid skirmish and seizing the Hypnobrai staff from Slithra.
Wait, hold on a second.
Engaging the Serpentine in a rapid skirmish and...
You see that? He's like activating and deactivating it. That's kind of cool.
Staff from Slithra, the only source of an antidote to the hypnotic sway of the snakes. But in the tussle, the crafty Serpentine Scales, second in command to Slithra, managed to catch Cole unawares, hypnotizing him under his direct command. And so, unbeknownst to the rest of the ninja, Scales began to watch them through Cole's eyes, probing the team for weaknesses, and seeking to take his place as leader of the Hypnobrai. Back in the darkness of the Hypnobrai tomb, which was now being used as a base of operations for the serpents, Scales plotted with Mesmo, another Hypnobrai warrior, expressing his lack of confidence in their leader Slithra, who was clearly under the sway of a mere child. Together, Scales, Mesmo, and others began to spread doubt throughout the Hypnobrai tribe of their leader, sowing the seeds for a future takeover of the mantle of tribe general. Back at the monastery, the ninja were reeling from the revelation that the Serpentine had escaped their tombs, and while life continued, the threat of the Serpentine was now ever present. As they continued to train harder and harder, Kai, Jay, and Cole began to grow tired of Zane's quirks and inability to understand social cues, with incidents as severe as his shurikens of ice coating the entire monastery in snow, or as banal as him interrupting Jay and Nia's date night to watch.
Who got messed up by a lot of villains? Did he? He got hit by the Hypnobrai. Nothing really happened with the Stone Army. Overlord, I guess they kind of got him with the Dark Matter, but everyone got hit by that except for Kai. I mean, he did get turned into a ghost. There is that. That was a big one. But I don't think he really got that fucked up. I love how the first episode of made it seem like Scales is going to be the main villain of the season, then Pythor just shows up and one-ups him. Yeah, that's fair. The first Ninjutsu master thanked Lloyd for protecting her, so I mean, yes, Lloyd did. Lloyd in the ninja, not just Lloyd. All right, if Lloyd had the golden power, he could have done it, but you know, he gave that shit up for friends. Like, he needs those. Anyways. Yeah, technically he did save it, but he was also the entire reason why it happened. Is without him, Serpentine never would have gone out, which means the Devourer never would have came, which means the Devourer's venom never would have gotten into the Stone Army, which then means that the Stone Army never would have come alive, which then means that the Overlord never would have returned, which means that Drummond would never found the Dark Island, which means the Overlord never would have returned, which then means that the Zane never would have died, stopping the Overlord, which then means that Chance, like, it's just a constant snowball. Yes, he did stop it, but he also caused it. So is it really that
the movie with them,
much of a difference?
At increasing frequency. And as the mailman ascended the steps to the monastery to deliver their mail, the ninja wondered why Zane never got any mail of his own and never heard a word from his family. Meanwhile, deep in the Forest of Tranquility, Lloyd sent the Hypnobrai warriors on his next mission to construct the greatest treehouse in all the realm as hideout and play fortress to live in. While Scales continued to sow dissent among the Hypnobrai ranks, the Serpents had no choice but to follow the orders of their leader, Slithra, who remained entranced under Lloyd's hypnosis. And so, over the course of weeks, the Serpentine erected...
It's really weird how that works. Because when the Hypnobrai put someone under their hypnosis, at least from what we've seen, they like can order them around, and they can like see through their eyes. It's basically like having, it's basically like putting part of yourself in someone else, and that part taking control. But this guy hypnotized himself, and Lloyd has control, even though technically that wouldn't make sense, since the Serpentine are the ones that control whoever gets hypnotized. You know what I mean? I don't think that makes sense.
A massive yet fragile tree fortress for their child ruler, Scales lamenting.
Although we are talking about Lego characters here, so
as snakes do not belong in trees. Over this time, the ninja continued to bond as a team, and yet Zane remained the odd one out. While Jay and Nia grew closer and closer, Cole formed a strong bond with Jay, and even Kai managed to relax and let down his guard around his team. Zane struggled to connect with his companions, and when his friends and even Master...
Did the Overlord possess the Great Devourer? What? I thought the Devourer just bit him. I don't know.
Who engaged in a food fight, he wandered off from the monastery, sitting outside in solitude. It was then that Zane encountered a mysterious falcon, perched atop the
monastery. Alright, hold on a second.
It was then...
Zane is just...
that Zane encountered...
He's just seeing them all laugh, and just like, bro, what the fuck? I just made that move. I just made that meal, bro. What the fuck?
A mysterious falcon, perched atop the monastery's tree. This falcon seemed to watch his every move, and even attempt to communicate with the young ninjroid. Little did Zane know, but this falcon was his original robotic companion. Built by the tinkerer, Dr. Julian, the falcon had been constructed years ago to serve as Zane's eyes from above and even be a form of pet. But with his ninjroid memory wiped, all traces of Zane's former bond with the falcon had disappeared.
Something I didn't know is when Zane becomes the titanium ninja, apparently the falcon is just in his fucking arm, which... Again, scientifically, not possible. There's not enough space there. But anyways, the falcon's just in his fucking arm. And it's like... Also, can we just talk about this really quick? I know we're not there in the timeline yet, but apparently, Zane, after he killed himself, he rebuilt himself. How? Bitch, how? How? Someone explain to me. How the fuck do you kill yourself and then rebuild your body? Like, I don't know, man.
Following the mysterious bird through the treetops of the Forest of Tranquility, Zane came across the massive Hypnobrai treehouse, spotting Lloyd leading the blue-skinned snakes atop the ramshackle wooden lair. Quickly rushing back to warn the rest of his team, Zane convinced the rest of the ninja to follow him into the forest at first light, and while the others were initially skeptical of the source of his information being a bird, they realized that Zane was right, and they had discovered the hiding place of Lloyd and the Hypnobrai. Engaging the serpents in yet another battle, the ninja leapt into action, seeking to topple the tree fortress and send the Serpentine plunging to the ground. Just as they were gaining the upper hand, Scales activated the latent hypnotic power he had burrowed into Cole's mind, and the Ninja of Earth turned against his comrades, lunging at them with his Scythe of Quakes and threatening to collapse the entire treehouse. Just when all seemed lost and Cole had gained the upper hand, Wu and Nia came soaring in on the Fire Dragon, playing Wu's ancient sacred flute, old weapon the Elemental Masters had used decades ago to seal the Serpentine in their tombs. With Cole broken free of his hypnosis, the 6 heroes used the rest of their powers to destroy the treehouse and return to the monastery victorious, only to find that in their absence, the Serpentine had lit their home ablaze, destroying the once beautiful monastery of the first Spinjitzu master and reclaiming the Hypnobrai snake staff in the process.
That monastery was gone for a long time. I'm just now realizing. That was gone for like what, 8 seasons, I think? In the last season, the Overlord said that he awakened the Oni and Garment of possessing the Devourer to bite him. Did not know that. I had no idea.
Devastated, Wu could only watch as his childhood home was destroyed before his eyes, and an icon of peace and justice in Ninjago was lost forever. In their anger, Kai, Jay, and Cole turned against Zane, blaming him for forcing them to
Pixel help rebuild Zane. You would think, but Pixel literally says, you rebuilt yourself. She literally said those exact words. I'm just like... Anyways.
Leave the monastery unprotected and lashing out against their teammate. But as Sensei Wu reprimanded the 3 ninja for blaming their friend, Zane took flight on his ice dragon for reasons unknown, leaving the group behind. Meanwhile, back in the Hypnobrai tomb, dissent among the tribe had reached it.
Whoa.
Meanwhile,
What are these little snaky motherfuckers? Fuck. I thought it was just like normal Serpentine. They have actual snakes in Ninjago. They have actual snakes. Never knew.
Hypnobrai tomb, dissent among the tribe had reached its boiling point. Furious at Slithra's recent failures and inability to make the most of their newfound freedom, Scales had gathered enough secret followers throughout the Hypnobrai ranks and challenged his general to a duel in the Slither Pit. Win in Scales would take the title of general, gain a serpent tail to signify his rank, and lead the Hypnobrai into their glorious future. Lose, and he would not only ever be able to challenge Slithra's rule again, but he and his followers would be banished from the tribe. And so, in an epic gladiatorial match, Scales and Slithra faced off, leadership of the Hypnobrai tribe hanging in the balance. While Lloyd watched on, nervous that his general would be defeated, he managed to steal a map to the Serpentine tombs that had been sealed.
Both themselves in effect. Oh yeah! Oh my god, you're smart! That's right! At the end! That's right! Oh my god! I completely forgot. But yeah, because at the end, after the Overlord, Pixel was in the factory, and then Zane was like, "Are we compatible now?" That's yeah, you're right. Right. You know what? You right. You know what? Hold on. Where's it at? Which one? Which? No, it's not up on the screen yet. Hold on. I love having latency. Yeah. Cool. There, right here. This guy's smart. This guy real smart. All right, anyways, let's back to the fucking stupid.
sealed away with the Hypnobrai, gaining an Escalateral just in case his champion lost the fight. And as the duel raged on, Scales managed to incapacitate his opponent in a surprise attack, and just like that, Scales was crowned leader of the Hypnobrai, ending the reign of Slithra. Back at the ruins of the monastery, the remaining ninja quickly grew regretful of the loss of Zane, missing his unique quirks, his cooking, and his strange charm. Scavenging amongst the rocks for food, the ninja had reached their lowest point when, in the skies above, the ice dragon hurtled down from the clouds. Zane returning to tell his team that he had left not because he was angry, but because he wanted to immediately find them a new home following the destruction of the monastery, and after circling the sea of sand in his dragon, he had accomplished his task. Leading them to a desolate sandy wasteland, Zane revealed what he had found, the near-intact remains of the Destiny's Bounty. In ancient times, in the prologue of the story, this vessel had been commanded by the terror of the endless sea, Captain Soto, and his ragtag gang of pirates, who after defeating and trapping rival Jin pirate Captain Nauticon, had become obsessed with finding the Overlord's Dark Island, sending the bounty crashing upon the shore of Ninjago and ending his life. In the decades that followed, the seas had receded, giving way to a barren expanse of sand, and the old Destiny's Bounty had come to rest in the desert, battered by the elements. And so, overjoyed at their new home, the ninja rushed to the bounty, apologizing to their friend Zane, who hung back and talked with Sensei Wu about the possibility that he was the Green Ninja, to which Wu replied that the future was uncertain, but Zane had a very promising journey ahead. And as the ninja laughed and celebrated in their new home, Lloyd was cast out of the Hypnobrai tribe, no longer in control of the serpents. Encountering the bounty from afar, Lloyd sulked as he watched the ninja party and laugh together, yearning the companionship the team shared. And as he left the desert, he headed to the closest Serpentine tomb on his map, graveyard resting place of the Fangpire tribe, whose venomous bite could turn anyone or anything into a Serpentine hybrid.
That is bullshit. I've been waiting for this. This motherfucking stupid ability that these snakes have to fucking turn shit into snakes. No. All right, people. Sure. Okay, I can see that one. It's biology. All right, it's stuff you did an infection. All right, okay, sure. They turn a fucking bus into a fucking snake. Well, where does that come from? Where? Someone explain to me. Someone explain to me the physics of that. Please. I would love to know. How are you to turn a bus into a snake with a bite? This is one of the things that aggravates me the most. Ninjago.
Making his way to an eerie graveyard shrouded in mist, Lloyd managed to unlock the mechanism for the Fangpire tube, and found himself confronted by Fangtone, two-headed general of the fearsome Fangpire. Agreeing to go along with the boys' demands out of amusement, and seeking to learn more about how the realm of Ninjago had changed in their absence, Fangtone led his tribe out from their tomb, seeking scrap metal and machines of war they could convert to their side. Back at the remains of the bounty,
Lego.
The ninja,
you know what? That's the fucking physics. It's just Lego, bro. It's just fucking Lego.
To clean and wash the inside of their new home, restoring the once molded and rotten wreckage of the bounty into a sparkling new vessel. In a blaze of elemental energy, the ninja washed over the wreckage, Jay using his nunchucks of lightning to power an array of tracking and flight computers installed into the bridge of the bounty, and Kai and Zane combining their powers to create a cleansing mist. As they toiled day and night, a pile of discarded junk and trash outside the vessel began to grow, and Jay's adoptive
Pythor's invisibility. Yeah, I forgot about. So like, all right. Let's have a little chat here. All right, chat. Let's have a little chat. All right. In season 4, during the Tournament of Elements, when Chen is looking for Pythor to make his transformation permanent, we see that the fake the fake snakes, I forget what they're called, Anacondri, the fake Anacondri, They turned invisible to sneak into the prison. All right. Now, just stay with me here. Stay with me. They turned invisible. All right. Cool. That's cool. It was cool. I loved seeing it. It was cool. When Pythor is running for his life, so he doesn't get caught by those fake anacondrae. Keep in mind, he's like 2 foot tall, or not. He's like 6 inches tall. Sorry. He doesn't turn invisible. Now, I can understand why he wouldn't turn invisible, because it's not the first thing that comes to his mind, because he's full of fear. Although technically turning invisible is a defense mechanism, but let's just ignore that. All right, let's just ignore that. Let's say that okay, he's too flooded with fear to realize that he could do this. What I want to know is how the fuck did the fake anacondrae know that they could turn invisible? Because the anacondrae have been gone for a long time. How could they have known? More importantly, how could they have known how to do it? Because they were only anacondrae for at most 2 days. I don't know how they could have possibly learned how to do that. Anyways, that's just a little thing.
Decided to pay the gang a visit and meet their son's new friends. Embarrassed of the fact that he grew up in a junkyard, Jay was insolent and rude to his parents, quickly sending them away from the bounty to the surprise of his friends. Taken aback by Jay's behavior, the rest of the ninja spent the next few days convincing Jay to apologize to his parents and finally visit them at the junkyard, which he promised to eventually do. But Jay's window of time was closing fast, for Lloyd and the Fangpire had made their way to Ed and Edna's junkyard, which was the perfect place for the red-skinned serpents to convert vehicles and armor into living weapons, all controlled by the Fangpire
I simply hate it.
Ambushing the couple in the dead of night, the Fangpire struck swiftly and silently, converting motorcycles, helicopters, wrecking balls, and even a statue Ed was building of Jay into weapons of destruction. As Ed and Edna attempted to flee, they were bit by the Fangpire, and the transformation into Serpentine began to take root. During this time, unaware that his parents...
And the Serpentine really got their all their fangs into like the whole family tree. They got Jay's parents, they got Jay, goddamn.
...were in grave danger. Jay continued to work on the bounty.
Chen knows because he was in the Serpentine Wars. Yeah, but still, they know... that's a valid point, and I actually thought about it while I was saying it. Yeah, okay, they know about it, but there's still no way in hell they could possibly master that ability in 2 days. There's no way.
Integrating servers and technology into the very belly of the machine. As he worked, Wu informed the ninja that their dragons were reaching a time of metamorphosis, where they had to return to the spirit coves and the realm of Oni and Dragon to undergo a transformative process that would mean the ninja had no longer any form of transportation. And so...
Why is there only one ultimate dragon? That's what it's called, right? The ultimate dragon? I don't know. Why is there only one Blue Eyes ultimate dragon? Why is there only one? But no, actually though, why is there only one? Because there's nothing special about those dragons except for the only thing special about them is that they were the ones starting the golden weapons. But I don't think they were actually special on their own. They were just dragons, which obviously means that in Ninjago they're really tough. But I don't know why those 4 merged together when we've never seen that happen with any other dragons. I don't think, if I remember right.
As the dragons left,
someone will correct me if I'm wrong.
To their steeds, Jay was convinced the bounty needed an upgrade to transport the team, installing jet engines to the sides and back of the ship to replace the need for these dragons. And finally, once most of the work had been completed, Jay agreed to go visit his parents at their junkyard and apologize for his behavior, only to...
I'm shaking my head because it's just, again, the physics of those jet engines does not stack up.
Find it completely overrun by the deadly serpents, now wielding fearsome vehicles and holding Ed and Edna hostage. The only antidote to their transformation into Serpentine was found in the staff of the Fangpire General, which was kept safe and close with Fangtum himself. And so, the ninja leapt into action, waging a battle against the newly created living vehicles, cornered by the fearsome Serpentine Wrecking Ball. As Jay led the charge to defend his home, he managed to commandeer the massive weapon of destruction, steering it towards his own statue, which had been converted by the snakes. But as the serpents took to the skies in their Fangpire helicopters, the ninja were left stranded on the ground, and Ed and Edna's condition was worsening. It was in that moment that Wu pulled the ninja close, explaining that now was the time to unlock the potential.
The fuck was that?
That Wu pulled the ninja close.
What? Excuse me? What is this? What is it? Why are there more golden weapons? This is from the part of the show that I have not seen. Why is there more? Why?
Explaining
why. And why is it in this like container thing? I got questions.
That now was the time to unlock the potential of their golden weapons of creation. When his father forged the 4 weapons, he imbued in them the ability to generate elemental vehicles from thin air, drawing from the raw elements themselves. And so
that was weird.
Vehicle. When his father forged the 4 weapons, he imbued in them the ability to generate elemental.
Oh wait, no, am I
When
stupid?
his father forged the 4 weapons, he imbued in them the ability.
Oh, that's Jay. I saw it. I saw Zane for some reason. The blue just looked really white.
To generate elemental vehicles from thin air.
Season 11. That's in season 11. But that's the season I've kind of watched some of. Season 11. I have no idea.
Themselves.
Honestly, I have no idea.
So each ninja focused in on their weapons, resonating with the blaze as they performed a series of intricate moves to unlock their powers. In a storm of lightning, wind, and energy, Jay summoned his lightning jet from the nunchucks of lightning. Leaping in a fiery dance with the sword of fire, Kai summoned the mighty blade cycle, sending his shurikens of ice hurtling through the air.
This one's cool. That one was cool. I really like that transformation where he like makes it nice and then it'll break off. I kind of wish they all did that. Where like Jay made like a skeleton of lightning, Kai made like a thing of fire. I think that would have been cool.
Agile ice glider. And in a cataclysm of rock and earth rising from the ground, Cole used his Scythe of Quakes to summon his Tread Assault Craft. With 4 new vehicles created by the weapons, the ninja wasted no time to pursue the Fangpire, Jay remaining focused.
Season 10, Kai forged weapons from golden armor from Overlord. I know that one. I don't know about I know about that one. Wait, is that where they're from? Oh my god, that might be where it's from.
On his connection to lightning as he soared through the air, catching up with a Fangpire copter and seizing the
I'll learn it.
staff
I'll learn it someday.
As the other ninja raced to meet him on the ground, Jay lost his focus, and in an instant, the jet vanished in a poof of smoke. But his objective had been completed, and now in his possession was a method to cure his parents. But the Fangpire would not stop until they reclaimed their staff, and in an instant, it was a race for the team to get back to the bounty, get it afloat, and use the anti-venom to cure Ed and Edna. Pursued by the now massive Fangpire army, Jay struggled to activate the bounty's flight mode, until Ed lended a hand, the 2 engineers working harder than they had ever worked before to prep the massive pirate vessel for flight. And, at the push of a button, sails unfurled, jet engines extended, and massive aerodynamic spikes pivoted upwards. And the Destiny's Bounty soared through the air for its first flight. Now safe from the Serpentine, the ninja used the anti-venom to cure Ed and Edna, Jay embracing his adoptive parents and apologizing for all their trials over the past
yeah, I completely forgot he was adopted. Completely forgot about that.
Was dropped and returned to the Fangpire, but it was no longer needed, as the ninja had cured Jay's parents and claimed their first victory over the Serpentine.
Is that really a victory?
Chapter 3, Pythor's.
Is that really a victory? That was more of a draw. I mean, I guess they beat their ass, but still, like that was more of a draw. Neither side really gained anything. Kind of evened out at the end. But I mean, I guess they beat their ass. So.
Gambit. Zane awoke with a start. Eerily, the rooms on the Bounty were empty, and all he could see was his falcon circling outside the window. Roaming out onto the deck of the deserted vessel, Zane was unable to find his comrades as their ship soared through murky clouds and mist. But then, Zane felt a cold, a shadow lurking behind him. Lord Garmadon returned from his exile. Preparing to do battle, Zane was about to stand against the King of Shadows by himself when out of nowhere, in a flash of light...
reaction content for Seasons of Ninjago you didn't watch. You see, that is guaranteed to get claimed, if not striked. And I try my best to avoid that. With this one, I deliberately chose to, like, I knew for sure, I know for sure this stream is getting claimed. Hopefully it doesn't get striked, but for sure it's getting claimed, because I played some of the intro music to Dragon's Rising, which is obviously copyrighted. But I try my best to avoid that to help with the stream's overall reach, as well as my channel's like performance, because I imagine if you're constantly in claims, YouTube's not going to be happy. So I try to avoid that.
The Green Ninja materialized on
But
the
if I
scene.
do that, I will for sure get
Garmadon in a
claimed.
fury of punches and
Even if
kicks,
it's fair
the
use.
legendary hero performed spinjitzu,
Just because that's how
summoning
YouTube's
a dazzling
thing
emerald
works.
tornado of energy, while a stunned Garmadon could only watch. In an epic duel, the Green Ninja used the nunchucks of lightning and the strength of Earth to blast Garmadon off the bounty, sending the Dark Lord to his seeming doom.
Damn, he died.
But when Zane turned, this ninja had fire in his hands and the falcon on his shoulder, eyes ablaze with light. As more and more copies of the Falcon began to surround this mysterious stranger, Zane cried out, demanding he reveal himself, just as he awoke in reality on the bounty and realized it was all a dream. Sharing this revelation with the rest of the ninja, the four heroes were distracted by what it meant, and which of them was meant to be the Green Ninja, for the hero in Zane's dream wielded aspects of all four of their personalities and elements.
I miss when, I think I already said this in a previous stream, but I miss when Lloyd could use every element combined with his energy. I missed it. It was so cool to see him, fucking use them. And that also makes him seem a lot more powerful since he has all these abilities combined with his own.
Frustrated that his pupils were not taking training seriously, Wu demanded that they give him the answer to one of the most important questions of all. What is the best way to defeat your enemy?
What's the best way to defeat your enemy? What is it? With a sword? With teamwork? With with hitting that subscribe button? I was debating on that for a hot minute, and that's why I paused.
Meanwhile, back in the frozen wastelands of Ninjago, Lloyd rode alongside a new Fangpire army towards the icy crypt of the Hypnobrai, seeking to gain revenge. Phantom, who shared no love for the former Hypnobrai ruler Slithra, agreed to march on the hypnotic snakes in a bid for power,
Teamwork,
seeking to rule
befriend
not
them.
only the Fangpire, but the Hypnobrai as well.
You're all wrong.
But
it's by cutting their head off with a knife. Cut them off, they're done. Not regrowing that shit. The only one that can do that is Cell and Majin Buu, and trust me, they aren't in this shit yet. I imagine eventually we're gonna get something like that. But as of right now, no. They're if you cut anyone's head off, they're gonna die. So recommend doing that.
As the two armies of snakes met on the battlefield, Phantom was surprised to find the general in charge was not Slithra, but his old friend Scales, who had recently taken control of the Hypnobrai. As the two leaders agreed to stop the conflict before it could begin, they began scheming as to what to do with Lloyd, eventually deciding to turn the young menace into a Serpentine with the bite of a Fangpire. Fleeing from the menacing snakes, Lloyd was catapulted away from the two armies, mapped to the Serpentine tombs still in hand. Making his way to the Sea of Sand in the Desert of Doom, Lloyd was now frustrated at his failure to command either Serpentine tribe, but now doubly determined to gain his revenge. Legends told of the powerful Anacondri, who turned the tide of the Serpentine Wars and were commanded by the fearsome General Arcturus.
Try that with the Stone Army or Oni Army. Look, all I'm saying is if they cut off the Stone Army's head, they never would have had to deal with them again. Because they did have to deal with them again. Twice. So they could have just cut off their heads. You know? Just saying. They could have cut off the head, but they didn't. And then they paid the price. Got out of it, but still, it took up a day. They could have spent that day doing something else, but didn't. They're fucking idiot. Same thing with Lloyd. Just cut off his fucking head. They wouldn't have had to deal with anything. Full circle.
Strongest and most powerful of all the serpents, these anacondrae had the ability to turn invisible, making them perfect for stealth incursions. Known to not play well with others and their ambition to control all other serpentine tribes, these anacondrae would be the perfect tribe to free next. And as Lloyd approached the isolated spire tomb in the middle of the desert, he was excited for what he would find. But as the young Lloyd opened the gate to the tomb, he was surprised to find nothing.
How do you do that? They're indestructible? Well, fun fact, they can be destroyed by pure elemental power, which the ninja only got because Lloyd was around. So if the Stone Army ever did come back, they would have. There's nothing they could have done. But yeah, I got nothing. I don't know. See, that's why the Stone Army is so cool, because they're indestructible. What the fuck are you gonna do to them? Nothing. You have to sit there and take the L. Like, it's great.
As he entered the dreary tomb of the anacondrae, there were no signs of life whatsoever. Someone, or something, had killed all of the anacondrae off long ago. But as he turned his back to the tomb, a sinister shape materialized from thin air. Pythor, last surviving member of the anacondrae tribe. Introducing himself to the frightened Lloyd as Pythor P. Chumsworth, the purple-scaled serpent explained that somehow all his fellow tribe members died off, conveniently omitting the fact that it was Pythor himself who killed the rest of his tribe and cannibalized them in a desperate bid for survival and food. Pretending to befriend the young child...
How come they need to use their weapons to use their element? So, the elemental power resides within them, obviously, but they weren't able to harness it. I don't know. I'm guessing it's just because they hadn't learned how to yet. Basically, elemental power is in them. The golden weapons brought out that power. Kind of like how the dragon does with that one girl in Dragon's Rising, the tech girl. Basically that. So when they lost their golden weapons, then their power was then kind of sealed away. It wasn't sealed away. They just didn't know how to fully access it without that. Without the golden weapon being the key. So it took up until Lloyd. So what happened was when they got the pure elemental power from the Temple of Light, they then put all that power into Lloyd to make him the Golden Ninja, or give him the possibility to be the Golden Ninja. He just had to reach his full potential. But then after he got the golden power, I'm already getting lost in my own train of thought here. After he got the golden power, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it up." Then he took the golden power, split it off into 4 parts, gave it to them, and they each got their own elemental powers back. This time at full power, because it had the golden power, or had the power of the Golden Ninja in it. Maybe. I'm confused.
To get close to him and take the map to the other tribes, Pythor bided his time, humoring the child and terrorizing the people of Germanikai village as the duo stole candy, broke every rule in sight, and bonded over the course of a day. By nightfall, Lloyd was comfortable with Pythor and truly believed they were friends, and Pythor plotted to use this complacency to his advantage. As Lloyd explained how he was kicked out of Darkly's boarding school
for a long-ass neck. Bro got a fucking noodle for it. What the fuck is that? Bro could eat like 28 action figures and be fine.
Pythor proposed the duo attack
Bro
the
looking
school
like a giraffe.
night, taking revenge on the institution for kicking out Lloyd. And so, Darkly soon found itself under siege by Pythor and Lloyd, who had hoped to use the attack as an excuse to draw out the ninja and take down some of the greatest heroes in Ninjago. Keeping watch atop the tower, Pythor and Lloyd scanned the surface below as the ninja geared up at the bounty, activating the powerful flight capabilities of the pirate craft to blast off from the ocean and soar to the school.
Not possible, but whatever.
As the heroes flew downwards on the bounty's anchor, wrecking much of the academy in the process, each ninja battled their way upwards, tangling with Pythor, and quickly realizing that he was a formidable foe, much more powerful than any other Serpentine they encountered. As they made their way to the top of the structure, Lloyd could do nothing but scream for Pythor's help as the heroes arrived on the scene. But in that instant, Pythor double-crossed Lloyd, stealing the map of the tombs for himself, and leaving Lloyd to face the consequences as he vanished into thin air.
Wait!
Of the tombs for himself, and leaving Lloyd to face the consequences as...
Consequences? Oh! Get this man a fucking book, because he needs to learn how to read. Look at this man. Consequences and another word that I forget because it was an hour ago. But he messed up 2 words in this 28 million word script. He should be fired.
As he vanished into thin air. And soon enough, Lloyd found himself captured by the ninja and his Uncle Wu and was brought aboard the bounty. It was then that Wu did something truly unexpected. Tucking the young Lloyd in for bed and reading him a bedtime story about never trusting a snake, the child was finally at home and at peace because of Wu, much to the ninja's dismay that he would not be punished for his actions. Taking his pupils aside, Wu explained the answer to his question posed days ago. The best way to defeat your enemy is to turn them into your friend.
And then cut their head off!
Lloyd no longer a threat to the
while
ninja,
their guard is
but
down!
Pythor still at large, the Destiny's bounty sailed off into the sunset. As the ninja continued to train on the bounty and hunt down Pythor, they slowly grew accustomed to living with Lloyd Garmadon, who began to aid Sensei Wu in their training. As part of a lesson about the destructive power of rumors, Wu tasked Lloyd to sow conflict amongst the ninja, framing Cole for erasing Kai's video game scores, Jay for messing up Cole's soup recipe, Zane for making the robotic training dummy too hard for Jay, and Kai for washing his red gi with Zane.
Oh, it's too hard. Oh, boo. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want a little tissue? Oh, boo. Should have gone for the head. Wouldn't be hard then, would it? Oh my god.
Zane's white, dyeing it pink. As the ninja argued and fought amongst themselves, Wu revealed that the incidents were all done by Lloyd, who had used his mischievous nature to his advantage in teaching the ninja a lesson. But on the bridge, Nia was hard at work studying the locations of the 3 known tombs when she discovered a pattern. Beaming a serpentine symbol on the map of Ninjago, she realized that the final 2 tombs had to be located in specific areas of the realm. And so, the ninja split up and sped to the long-lost location of the tombs. Cole and Zane made their way to the isolated Constricti tomb deep within the confines of a hollowed-out mountain, only to find the hatch had already been opened, and the tunneling Constricti tribe had been unleashed on Ninjago. After a brief tussle with General Scalador, leader of the Constricti, Zane and Cole only managed to free themselves with the sacred flute and rushed to the toxic bogs to warn Kai and Jay, who were walking straight into a trap. And sure enough, at the toxic bogs, the ninja were ambushed by the deadly Venomari, infecting Kai with their hallucinogenic venom and causing the ninja of fire to lash out in fear, paralyzed by illusions. As Zane and Cole tried to use the sacred flute, Pythor arrived on the scene, snatching the ancient artifact from the ninja and sending the Constricti and Venomari, led by Serpentine historian General Acidicus, to surround the heroes. But just when all seemed lost, a massive mechanical samurai arrived on the scene. Wielding an array of high-tech gadgets and weaponry, this Samurai X battled both Venomari and Constricti forces at once, managing to hit Pythor with a tracking dart as the villains fled. As the mechanism inside this mysterious samurai opened and its masked pilot stepped into the light, the ninja attempted to converse with the stranger, who instead sprayed the group with sleeping gas, knocking them out as the samurai made their escape.
Damn.
As the bounty swooped
That's a ninja move. A lot of people I feel like have samurai and ninja mixed up. I always talk about this anytime I ever get the chance, because I love talking about this stuff. But samurai don't use little underhanded tactics. They don't use stealth. They are full on. They're full on just go right in combat style. That's what the armor's for, to protect them. Ninja are more stealthy, little steppy step. You won't hear me clacking around. No. You know, using smoke bombs and tear gas and cutting people's heads off. Samurai also cut people's heads off, though. To be fair, you know they both have that in common. But other than that, it's you know, they're 2 different kind of warriors. Anyways, a samurai would never use sleeping gas.
To pick them up, and the 4 ninja came to, they began to discuss who this mysterious Samurai X was and why they were hiding their identity. But there was little time to discuss, for they were hot on Pythor's trail, tracking the Anacondri foe to the center of Ninjago City, where he had summoned all freed Serpentine from across the land into a meeting of the 5 tribes for the first time in centuries. Gathering in the abandoned subway systems below the city, Hypnobrai, Venomari, Constricti, and Fangpyre alike all listened to Pythor, who had struck a deal with Hypnobrai leader Scales to unite their forces. But this time, the ninja were prepared, and sneaking amongst the crowd, they used the power of rumors to spread lies and conflict among the assembled tribes, causing the snakes to turn on each other and ignore Pythor's rallying calls, for now. Skirmishing with the serpents as they made their escape, the ninja returned to the bounty victorious over Pythor, having thwarted his attempt to unite the 5 tribes to accomplish his dark plans. But the cunning Anacondri would not give up so easily, and as the days passed, Pythor explained his master plan to Scales, to awaken the fearsome Great Devourer, legendary serpent that was destined to one day consume the entire realm of Ninjago, and the very same serpent who was responsible for infecting the blood of Lord Garmadon, unlocking his Oni side years ago. While the Great Devourer had not been seen since then, rumors spoke of 4 silver fangblades, nearly indestructible teeth of the Great Devourer, that when assembled in the ancient Serpentine capital of Ouroboros, would hold the power to awaken the Great Devourer from its slumber. And so, Scales and Pythor ventured to the Sea of Sand to unearth the long-buried city of Ouroboros, uncovered an ancient mechanism to unveil the forgotten City of Snakes, rising from the ground itself in a whirlwind of sand. And in an instant, the ruins of the lost city of Ouroboros rose again, and Pythor now
Hold on. Science brain.
of Ouroboros uncovered an ancient mechanism to unveil the forgotten City of Snakes, rising from the ground itself in a whirlwind of sand. And in an instant, the
Okay, so it creates a vortex sucking in the sand, but then it also raises up? I think that's what's going on there. What I'm questioning is why wouldn't they just have it raise up? But I guess the answer to that question is that there might still be a ton of sand everywhere, so you want to get that off. But also, how is it sucking up the sand? Because the only way to do that with like gears and mechanisms without any electric motors or anything, which they obviously don't have, is to just have it be a really big hole that all the sand will go into. But like you can clearly see that sand is flying everywhere, which means there's some kind of like fan going, causing a ton of wind. But that's not possible because there is no fan because there's no electricity. So I need to stop questioning this kind of
city
stuff.
Of Ouroboros
I
rose
seriously need to.
And Pythor now had a city to operate from. Over these weeks, the ninja had their hands full with Serpentine strikes.
I love how at this point there are canon books. I wonder what will be next. Games, canon movie. I think Ninjago's future is bright. We need a Ninjago game. There has not been a single Ninjago game that is good. And I feel like they're milking Ninjago for every single possible penny that it could possibly make. And they still haven't done a single good game. What is that about? There's literally a whole super popular franchise of Lego games. Lego Harry Potter, Lego Batman, Lego Heroes, like everything. But they haven't done Lego Ninjago, which is probably one of the most popular Lego things in existence. I'd imagine at least. Considering it's been running for 11 years, has over 14 seasons, a super popular movie, tons and tons of figures. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but it's probably the most popular Lego thing. Anyways, it's really surprising that there's no game for that. Like, really surprising.
From all across the realm, Equipping new armor to protect themselves from Fangpire bites, the 4 heroes were now more well-equipped than ever to deal with the rising threat.
And I would be so happy to play it too.
Into Mega
I would
Monster
love
Amusement
that.
Park to attacks on Birchwood Forest villagers, the 4 freed Serpentine tribes, now free and unleashed without a leader, terrorized the land like the days of old. But each time, the ninja arrived on the scene too late, for the mysterious Samurai X had already battled back the serpents, overwhelming the scattered serpent.
Shadows of Ronin? Wait, hold on a second. I've never heard of that. Ninjago Shadows. The fuck? Okay, they do have actual Lego games. Okay. Wait, it's a fucking mobile game? It's a fucking mobile game? Please tell me this is not a mobile game. It's a fucking It's a fucking mobile game. No wonder I never heard of it. Mobile games suck ass. And I will stand by that till the end of time. Or until they fix fucking mobile games.
As the ninja grew more and more frustrated with the samurai, they began to make overt plays to defeat this mysterious vigilante and unmask them once and for all. But each time, the ninja were overwhelmed, and as they grew more and more desperate to know their opponent, Jay even attempted to masquerade as a damsel in distress on the railway tracks, only for the samurai to see right through the ruse and depart immediately after rescuing him. At the same time,
3DS
the
game
ninja took turns
got put on
watching
mobile.
Lloyd,
Okay,
who was
that's
growing
a
more
little bit
restless
better.
without a true place on the team. Without the skills of a ninja or the technological knowledge of Nia, Lloyd felt guilty for his role in freeing the Serpentine, and one day snuck off to follow the serpents themselves. Purchasing a serpent outfit and sneaking aboard a Serpentine bus to Ouroboros, Lloyd discovered the location of the now fully populated Snake City in the desert, and witnessed Pythor rally the 4 other tribes once again in a bid to become king of the serpents. In a Slither Pit duel, Pythor challenged Scales, Phantom, Acidicus, and Scalador to a battle for command of all their tribes. But he and Scales had a trick up their sleeves, and secretly plugging their own ears, Pythor used the sacred flute he had stolen from the ninja to force the other generals to submit to him. And each
Okay, I was about to say, did he really beat them in a 4v1? I can't remember. But he used the flute. Yeah, that makes sense.
Serpentine tribe leader threw down their staff and crowned Pythor as king of all 5 tribes. Forcing all the Serpentine to bow to their new master, Pythor had achieved his first goal of uniting the tribes, and in the process, they discovered the young Lloyd in their midst, capturing the boy to use him as leverage against—
Bro got a fucking bowl cut. God damn. Bro looking like Trunks for real.
The ninja. Quickly realizing Lloyd had gone missing, the ninja followed the tracks of the Serpentine bus to the Lost Snake City, where they were swiftly captured and thrown into the arena, and forced to do battle with Samurai X, who had somehow also been captured days ago. With their golden weapons taken and only their wits and their fists, Ninja prepared to do battle with Samurai, for only the victor would be allowed to leave the city. In a quick skirmish, the ninja were swiftly overwhelmed, until they unleashed their ultimate weapon, the Tornado of Creation, summoning bits of rubble and rock into a massive slingshot, which they used against the robotic mech. But as the ground began to shake and Pythor activated a sliding mechanism, Samurai X revealed they had a plan. And leaping forth from the mech, the samurai activated its rocket boosters, flying the ninja to safety while staying behind to contend with the snakes. Regaining the golden weapons but failing to free Lloyd, Samurai X jetted off, only to run out of fuel and plummet into the desert, crash landing
like Iron Man.
And in that moment, the samurai removed its helmet, revealing that it was Nia, Kai's sister, the entire time. Since she was uninterested in being a ninja, she had used the past months to hone her own unique fighting style, combining technology with martial arts to create the persona of Samurai X, hero of the realm. Making Kai to promise to keep her secret, Nia blasted back off onto the bounty, only to be greeted by Sensei Wu, who revealed that he knew it was her the entire time, and had used her rivalry with the ninja to encourage both sides to sharpen each other's skills. And as the days grew on, each ninja trained harder and harder, desperately trying to locate the Serpentine who had fled from the city and free Lloyd, who was still captured by Pythor and his goons. Zane spent more and more time underwater, practicing his mindfulness and holding his breath. Kai sprinted across hot coals with ease. Jay balanced atop the tallest building in Ninjago amidst a lightning storm. And Cole lifted inhuman weights with his enhanced strength.
Let's see how much that is.
Storm. And
Cole
lifted inhuman weights with his
Alright, let's take a gander here. The bar that he's holding, we're going to do off real life numbers here. Bar that he's holding, 45 pounds. Alright, let's set that in there. 45 pounds. Base. But then he has 2 large plates, which are usually 45s. Wait, it's uneven. Oh, probably because that. Okay, anyways. We'll just go off this. Okay, so 45 for the bar, plus what looks to be 2 more 45s, so 90. Plus a 35. Plus a. I'll say 25. And then Nia's holding a 5. That's 200 pounds. And then Nia herself, let's just say 150. And then that's even on both sides, times 2. That's 700 pounds. That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Hand strength. The 4 ninja had reached peak physical condition, but there were still many challenges to overcome. And while they may have reached their physical peak, the greatest challenge of unlocking their dormant elemental abilities and finally finding their true potential was yet to come. Chapter 4: True Potential.
When they find their true potential, it's some of the best moments in the show.
To learn the full truth, Sensei Wu gathered his pupils, who had now reached peak fighting condition, and told them the tale of young Garmadon, revealing that he blamed himself for making his brother retrieve the weapon, and kicking off a series of events that would lead to the coming of the Dark Lord and the bite of the Devourer. Consumed with guilt over Garmadon and...
Lord is even stronger as the show continues. Yeah, I mean, at some point in the beginning of the Moro arc, he's able to lift up a car with ease and like spin it on his finger, which cars weigh 3, 4, 5,000 pounds. And he was able to spin that on his finger. Like, yeah, he gets a lot stronger.
Suspecting he knew where his brother fled to after the underworld, Wu informed the ninja that they no longer needed him, and left the bounty, tasking them with rescuing Lloyd and unlocking their true elemental potential as first priority. Traveling to an obscure tea shop, Wu reconvened with his father's old ally Mistake, Oni defector in disguise who once helped Wu's father defeat the darkness of the 3 Oni warlords after falling in love with the beauty of the realm of Ninjago. As the World Master caught up with the ancient Oni, the rest of the ninja were left to seek out the Fang Blades themselves and prevent the Great Devourer from being unleashed. For collecting the Fang Blades first meant the ninja could destroy the blades at their source, Torchfire Mountain, the volcano with the power to destroy the Fang Blades themselves. Having deciphered the legend of the ancient Fang Blades in the now abandoned Constricti tomb, the ninja were searching for the legendary artifacts when Zane was distracted by the reappearance of his mysterious falcon companion, who had brought them great fortune in the past. Following the bird through the realm and scaling cliffs, mountains, and vast passageways, the ninja rushed to follow the falcon on a great quest, each one slowly tiring out and falling back, while Zane's endurance held strong, eventually reaching the snowy birchwood forest in the mountains.
Yeah.
Alone and
Cole,
isolated
Jay,
from the rest
Kai,
of his
then
team,
Zane.
all Zane could see were endless...
Which, by the way, you know, Kai held up the longest, besides Zane, who's a little machine and literally has infinite stamina. You know, Kai held up the longest out of all 3, just saying, you know, he's the best one.
Columns of birch trees rising into the sky. And to his dismay, the falcon began to twitch and plummet, dropping like a stone. All around him, metal footsteps echoed, and the ninja of ice prepared for battle. Emerging from the trees, a robotic sentry launched into battle, blasting beams of energy at Zane as he dodged and rushed to bring the falcon to safety. As the copper garden continued to warn of an intruder, Zane was pushed back, leaping onto its back and ripping out chunks of wire and metal, shutting down this mysterious sentry. As the robot collapsed, Zane observed a mysterious symbol.
As a kid, he always was, because it's red and fire, and that's like my whole thing. But now that I'm older and I've grown up a little bit, I have realized that I always liked whoever the leader is. Like in Power Rangers, it's the Red Ranger, and that's why red is my favorite color, because as a kid, I watched a ton of Power Rangers. Therefore, since Red was the leader, I liked Red. and therefore I made that my favorite color. And plus, I just like red anyway. With Voltron, even though red's my favorite color, my favorite lion and my favorite pilot, or paladin, if you watch the new one, is the black one, because he's the leader. Ninjago. Kai technically was the leader at first, or like he was like the pseudo leader, I guess. At least that's how I felt. But then as the show went on, Lloyd became the Green Ninja, and then he became the leader of the team. And then I ended up liking Lloyd just as much as Kai. I think they're even, but just because I know, like nowadays, now that I know that Lloyd is the leader, it's like, yeah, I like Lloyd more. Yeah, I usually always seem to lean towards whoever the leader of the pack is. I don't know why, I just do.
And noted the same symbol on a nearby tree. Uncovering a secret laboratory built into the tree itself, Zane descended the narrow steps to a secret laboratory filled with ancient blueprints of designs long forgotten. And to his surprise, he found a set of blueprints to the Falcon itself, revealing its...
I always thought it was Kai because the show started off with him, like him coming in and then joining the team, and clearly is one of the better ninja, because he has crazy endurance, and when he was fighting Moro, after Moro took over the Green, it was constantly Kai versus the Green Ninja, or Kai versus Moro in one-on-one fights, and he was holding his own versus the others who could not do shit. I always felt like Kai was one of the the best of the four, and also because he came in at the beginning of the show, it kind of seemed like the show was kind of centered around him a little bit.
Robotic nature, and directly beneath that,
I don't know,
blueprints for none other than his own Ninjroid body. As hours passed and Zane contemplated his nature as a Ninjroid, the rest of the ninja finally caught up to him, taken aback by this shocking revelation. As Zane reactivated his memory switch and visions of his inventor and father, Dr. Julian, came rushing back, he shared the tale of the Tinkerer with his friends, and how his father had seemingly passed away years ago.
I can't imagine what it feels
Zane
like to
did
just
not
be
know was that
flooded
Dr.
with
Julian
memories.
had been kidnapped by Samakai and imprisoned mere
That
moments
must be
after
such an
his
overwhelming
memory was
feeling.
wiped. But this revelation would not be unveiled until months later. Asking his friends to give him some time to grapple with the discovery of his identity, Zane stayed behind as Kai, Jay, and Cole ventured back out to the Birchwood Forest, only to be ambushed by a roving herd of territorial treehorns, spider-like beasts who mimicked the birch trees themselves. As the three ninja were swiftly beaten by the overwhelming foe, Zane emerged from the lab, now more sure of himself than ever before. With the question of his past no longer holding him back, Zane had embraced who he was, and leaping in a whirlwind of ice and snow, shurikens whirring and hovering in his hands, Zane unlocked his true potential, the element of ice now surging from his body. Blasting rays of pure winter at the Treehorn Queen, Zane battled back the encroaching monsters single-handedly, demonstrating the pure power of ice and snow. In awe of their friend's true potential, the rest of the ninja could only watch as the Ninjroid of Ice levitated in midair, blasting powerful elemental beams in every direction, and only stopping when the threat was over. During all this,
what does Zane's full potential give him? Because with Jay, it gives him the ability to fly and teleport. With Kai, it gives him fire manipulation and fire invulnerability. And then with Cole, it gives him just invulnerability in general. But what does Zane's give him? Just cold or ice? I don't know what that one does him.
Pythor was rallying his Serpentine legions to uncover the location of the 4 Silver Fangblades, and with the combination of the anti-venom present in each tribe leader staff, the long-forgotten map to the hiding places of the 4 blades was revealed, and Pythor was closer than ever to achieving his dark desires. At the same time, Wu had left Mistake's tea shop, venturing to the peak of an isolated mountain and using Mistake's special Oni blend of Traveler's Tea to open a portal through the ethereal divide itself, teleporting in a flash to the realm of madness. This primordial world of darkness had been marked by an imbalance of light and darkness, and soon enough, Wu was confronted by the man he was seeking, his brother, Lord Garmadon.
Now sporting 4 arms and wielding untold power, Garmadon charged at his brother as the two engaged in a deadly duel, Wu begging him to stop and hear him out, and Garmadon refusing to heed his brother's words. Pushed back to a murky swamp, the old sensei found himself surrounded by mud monsters, the light of his spinjitzu unable to battle back the overwhelming darkness. Just as Wu was about to be suffocated by the creatures, he revealed the reason why he had came. Garmadon's son Lloyd was in grave danger, kidnapped by the Serpentine, and even the evil of Garmadon's Oni blood was not enough to overcome how much he cared for his son. And in a moment of clarity, Garmadon pulled his brother Wu from the grip of the monsters. As both brothers...
Again, if they just cut his head off from the beginning, just ended it right then and there, the only person they would have had to deal with is Garmadon. That's it, and they clearly could beat him. Clearly. With the golden weapons, they should have easily beaten him. Oh, nice, but like, they could have beaten him, for sure. 4-on-1.
Stood together as equals, Garmadon agreed to set his dark plans aside until his son was safe, and so an uneasy alliance was formed. Back on the Bounty, Nia was prepping the team about the potential cure to Fangpyre bites, drastically increased heart rate. Showcasing an ancient Fangpyre skeleton specimen, Nia was explaining to the gang how she had researched this artifact, when she was forced to stop, for she was having an allergic reaction to perfume in the room. Realizing Kai had given him women's perfume as a prank, Jay was embarrassed, admitting he had worn it to impress Nia, and finally asking her out on a proper date, to which she quickly
grew some nunchucks and asked her out.
Jay and Nia went their separate ways, but not before Jay inadvertently pricked his hand on the Fangpyre skeleton, whose venom was still as fresh as the day the specimen died, starting Jay's slow transformation.
That makes no sense. The skeleton does not have the fucking... Skeleton isn't what has the venom. It doesn't. That's not. You see, when when two people love each other.
Into a serpentine. As the ninja continued to scour the lands for the serpents, Pythor wasted no time in rushing to the location of the first and closest Fangblade, Mega Monster Amusement Park. Blending in with the costume performers.
One day, somebody is going to make a compilation of every time I've ever streamed, and I've just been pissed off by the science that shows have, which is none. Like, why can't we get a scientifically accurate show that is also good? That's all I want to know, you know?
The Serpentine slithered in, but not before being forced to take photos with the guests, alerting the ninja to their presence and forcing the heroes to redirect the bounty to the amusement park. With Nia's Samurai X tracker notifying her of the Serpentine presence and Jay being forced to go to the park with the rest of the ninja, they both decided to move the date location to the theme park itself, Jay still unaware of Nia's secret identity. But as the Ninja of Lightning got ready and the night was soon at hand, he quickly realized that he had been infected by Fangpyre venom, but refused to let that jeopardize his date, instead bundling up in gloves and a scarf to mask his transformation.
Who had it worse out of all the ninja? Good question. Let's see here. Well, Zane got blown up. That's a solid point for him. Cole got turned into a ghost. That's a solid point for him. Jay... Got nothing. Kai, I mean, his parents, they got kidnapped. So that's cool. Lloyd. What did Lloyd get? Well, he got abandoned by his father and his mother. Starters. He got kidnapped by the Serpentine as a kid. He had literally no childhood because he instantly grew up. Jay's adopted. That's a point for Jay. It's a point for Jay. What else did Lloyd go through? Lloyd had to kill his own father twice, technically. Once when he had to send him off to the Cursed Realm, and then another time when he had to destroy the Cursed Realm. Lloyd. I think it's Lloyd. I think Lloyd had it about the worst.
As the pair arrived in the restaurant, Jay spent the entire day talking about his exaggerated accomplishments, his insecurities taking control as he overcompensated for his own skills, and Nia quickly picking up on this false bravado. But as the transformation got worse and Jay felt...
I mean, I was gonna say that Jay did the whole genie thing, but... technically, none of that happened. Although he doesn't remember it, in all honesty. The only thing is, like, if it actually affected them, which I guess for that one it did because Jay and Nia did remember. So sure, I'll give that point to Jay, where he saw literally everybody die, basically. So yeah, Jay gets 2 points. Everybody else has 1. No, Kai has 2, Jay has 2, Lloyd is who knows how many, and then Zane and Cole have 1. I guess. I think Lloyd had it probably the worst.
The Serpentine tail began to sprout. He rushed to the bathroom, just as Nia's bracelet Serpentine tracker alerted her to Pythor's presence, and she quickly ran out to confront the snakes. As the rest of the ninja tried and failed to stop Pythor from seizing the Fangblade, Zane still unable to control the full might of his true potential, Nia as Samurai X leapt onto the scene, snatching the Fangblade and fleeing from the snakes, despite her rocket boosters failing. Fighting back waves of tunneling constricti and attacking Fangpire, Samurai X was eventually overcome by the serpents, her identity forcefully revealed as Nia to the world. Strapping her to a roller coaster hooked up to a fiery ring and broken tracks, Pythor cackled as he regained the Fangblade and slithered off, leaving the ninja to contend with this dastardly trap. While Kai, Zane, and Cole were too late to arrive on the scene, flash frozen by Zane's true potential by accident, Jay rushed out of the restaurant and leapt to save Nia, fighting desperately to free her from the restraints. As the coaster rattled onwards and the pair grew more resigned to their fate, Nia made sure to tell Jay that he didn't need to pretend to be someone else. Who he was good enough. And the
Wait, that's what unlocked his true potential. But then in the Ninjago season, he fucking does the same shit again. He's like, I want to be rich, so Nia will like me. Bro didn't learn shit.
The best version of himself was someone who didn't have to pretend that he was someone else. Giving
I just
Jay
he wasn't
a kiss
pretending.
As the roller coaster reached its breaking point, Nia watched as Jay's skin began to glow, his heartbeat increasing as he fought off the Serpentine venom. Now cured of the bite and secured himself, Jay's eyes began to crackle with pure lightning as he hovered into the air, generating a storm of electricity and energy around him. And in a flash of brilliant white light, Jay discovered his true potential. Teleporting to the front of the coaster, Jay stopped the machine in the nick of time, saving Nia and himself, his body crackling with pure electricity. And with that, 2 of the team had unlocked the potential of the elements within them. Yet Pythor was now one step closer to freeing the Devourer, first Fangblade in hand. Immediately departing for the location of the next Fangblade, Pythor, Scales, and the Serpentine made their way to the Desert of Doom, reaching one of the ancient Serpentine pyramids of old, from the time of King Mambo V and the Serpentine of the Valley. Realizing the pyramid was laden with deadly traps and pitfalls, Pythor called for Lloyd to be sent in, promising the boy to set him free should he retrieve the next blade. And so, darting between falling rocks, arrows, and sinking ground, Lloyd sprinted to the location of the blade, only to find it was long since taken from the temple. Because years ago, legendary explorer Clutch Powers, on a mission for his famed Explorers Club, had ventured into the very same pyramid to claim the Fangblade, later deciding to transform the relic into a prize for a
fuck? What the fuck? Hold on. Look at the mouth. Look at the mouth. Watch the mouth.
The Fangblade, later deciding to transform the...
It's morphing from one shape to the other. It's not being like a ba 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 ba. It's like blah blah blah. What the? That looks so fucking weird.
For a singing and dance competition, the Blade Cup. And back on the bounty, Cole had come to this exact revelation for his father Lau. And back on the bounty, Cole...
Notice how this is like kind of... It's a lot more like open and close. It does have a little bit of morphing, but it's a lot more just open and close.
Cole had come to this exact revelation, for his father Lau had won the Blade Cup several years ago in a row with his band, the Royal Blacksmiths. The only problem was that Cole had been living a lie for the past few years. Following the death of his mother Lily, Cole had left his home under the ruse that he was going off to study at the Marty Oppenheimer School of Performing Arts, when he instead had been aimlessly climbing mountains and testing the limits of his body when Wu had found him. Refusing to let Cole's estrangement from his father stop them, the 4 ninjas suited up and posed as fellow dance students, seeking training from Lau for the big competition.
Stop till you drop, shake it till you make it, lose it till you win it, spin it till you win it, or something like that.
Heading to Cole's hometown village,
I think that was
his
it.
father, the group
I don't know why I remember that.
And helped Cole keep a secret, only making the ninja of Earth more and more guilty. But the ninja had no time to waste, for the Serpentine had also learned of the existence of the Blade Cup, and in a scheme only Pythor could cook up, the Serpentine entered their own team into the competition, Pythor eating one of the judges whole to pose as a talent show grader.
Yeah! Oh, that's right, he fucking ate it, dude! Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. because he ate him whole, the dude was fucking talking while in the stomach.
And help his team cheat their way into victory.
Oh my god.
But so, training under Lau, the ninja were ill-equipped to enter a dancing competition, to say the least. Cole particularly resentful that his father repeatedly tried to force him to execute the triple tiger sachet, one of the hardest dancing moves in existence.
What do you mean one of it?
And
It's
as the
the
date
hardest.
of the competition grew nearer, the ninja
he has to bounce on top of 3 people's heads. You know how impossible that is? Not only does he have to get the height to flip over one person, he also has to push off, leap onto the next one, without creating any spin. I can't think of the word, but any spin, and then he has to do it again, and then he has to land on his feet. How fucking that's so impossible.
But surely learned their moves and got into dancing shape, all while Pythor worked behind the scenes to sabotage the results and present his own team of Serpentine in disguise. Meanwhile, in the realm of madness, Wu and Garmadon were forced to work as a unit once again after so many years
Bro,
apart,
they are a unit.
battling as brothers as they fought their way through waves of foul creatures of mud and stone, fighting to reach the peak of the Mountain of Madness, which contained a portal back to the realm of Ninjago. Hours turned to days, and there seemed no end in sight, for the road was long and their battle hard. But in the struggle, Wu and Garmadon managed to reconnect.
I'm not gonna say it.
Strengthening their bond and talking about Lloyd's exploits and adventures.
I'm a fucking child, by the way.
Finally making their way to the peak, the pair hurtled through space and time, tearing a rift open to the world of Ninjago.
Again?
And the Dark Lord had finally returned to his original realm, overwhelmed with glee. Back in Ninjago City, it was the night of the Great Talent Show, but the ninja were still unprepared to win. Finally reaching its breaking point, Cole proposed that they steal the Blade Cup and be done with it, never intending to interact with his father or his dancing troupe again, only for Lau to overhear, aghast at his son's proposition. While Cole tried to salvage the situation and explain to Lau that he was a ninja and was striving his own path, Lau doubled down that anyone who was willing to cheat and take the easy route to win was no son of his, refusing to watch the show. But Cole and his team had little time to make amends, for before they knew it, they were thrust on stage. Deciding to instead showcase their combat prowess as ninja instead of performing the traditional dance routine, the 4 heroes battled Serpentine on stage, all sent by Pythor to foil their chances of seizing the Blade Cup. And Cole, mixing ninja skills and what his father had taught him, performed the famous triple tiger sachet for the first time, wowing the crowd and eliciting high scores.
Oh yeah, you have to
judges,
headbutt the last one.
even the one Pythor had swallowed whole, reaching out of the Serpentine's mouth to applaud the ninja. Not even Pythor's manipulation and threats could overcome this success, and while the Serpentine team nearly won due to Pythor's threats, they were overthrown by the ninja, who seized the Blade Cup and were finally in possession of this sacred artifact. Proud of his team, but still in conflict over how he parted with his
why
father,
was that bopping?
Cole hung back, only to be greeted by Lau, who made amends with his son, proclaiming his pride when seeing him and his team win the Blade Cup fairly and in their own way. But as the pair reconciled and turned their back to the treacherous Serpentine, Pythor rigged a massive crate to fall on Lao, only for Cole to unlock his true potential in that very moment, summoning a mighty sandstorm of rocks and earth while blasting away the rubble with superhuman strength, saving his father as his body glowed a pure orange and white. But in the commotion, Pythor seized the Blade Cup, and now only needed 2 more Fang Blades to fulfill his dreams.
That's a really good question. Did Pythor just let that guy go, or did he just fucking digest him? Honestly? I don't know. It's very possible that he just straight up fucking ate him.
And as the ninja returned to the bounty, they needed to train harder than ever to stop their foe and save Lloyd. Beating back waves of dummies in the middle of the night, Cole, Zane, and Jay used the might of their true potential to obliterate the training foes, slowly but surely gaining control over their volatile elements. But Kai hung back, the last of the group to unlock his potential. Stealing the green ninja outfit from Wu's quarters, Kai donned the legendary robe of the Green Savior, leaping around the bounty in a flurry of moves, much to the amusement of his team. But alas, things did not change.
Wait.
Legendary robe of the Green Savior, leaping.
This thing doesn't have the shoulder guard pad thing, and it doesn't have the little crown on the thing, but in 5636 in Zane's dream, let's see if I can find it. In Zane's dream, it did have that, which is really interesting.
Around the bounty in a flurry of moves, much to the amusement of his team. But alas, things did not change, and to the disappointment of the Fire Ninja, donning the suit of the Green Ninja would not change his current state. But little did the ninja know that the time of legends was at hand, and they were moments away from the revelation of the Green Ninja's identity, which would forever change the course of Ninjago's history. Chapter 5: The Green Ninja. Making their way back to the bounty, Wu and Garmadon arrived at the home of the ninja, who were shocked to see their greatest foe yet working together with their old master. Despite Garmadon explaining that he had set aside his plans for conquest to rescue his son as top priority, Kai refused to trust the Dark Lord, who began to live with them over the coming weeks. While the rest of the ninja began to grow slowly accustomed to Garmadon's presence on the bounty, Nia even remarking that she felt sorry for the Dark Lord's inability to connect with others, Kai remained ever vigilant, paranoid that Garmadon had ulterior motives for being there to steal the golden weapons. As the ninja continued to train, Wu called Nia into a secret chamber in the bounty. Placing the golden weapons and green ninja outfit before her, Wu asked her to step forwards, suspecting that she was the legendary Green Ninja. But before they got a chance to try, Nia refused, after seeing how obsessed Kai and the others had become with the title and satisfied with her current role as Samurai X. But noticing Wu and Nia had been discussing the Green Ninja, Kai began to eavesdrop outside when he was confronted by Garmadon, and the two began to threaten each other right before Wu and Nia rushed outside and broke up the fight. Back on the bridge, Kai realized their golden weapons were gone, and acting impulsively, he rushed down to the inner rooms, finding Garmadon in control of all 4 weapons. Acting rashly before Garmadon could explain himself, Kai leapt into battle, believing that if he defeated Garmadon, his true potential would unlock, and he would become the Green Ninja. Locking the door and engaging in a duel with the Dark Lord, Kai managed to knock Garmadon to the ground just as Cole and the others burst in.
Kai does a pretty damn good job for a one-on-one with no weapon. He does a pretty damn good job against Garmadon.
He was stunned to see that his true potential did not unlock. But then, Wu explained that he had
him on the ground
to retrieve their weapons, and the Dark Lord had allowed himself to be defeated. And Kai realized that Garmadon was indeed innocent, and all he had done was make a fool of himself. But there was little time to discuss, for Zane's Falcon spotted a convoy of Serpentine headed through the Forest of Tranquility to the Fire Temple, a caged Lloyd in tow. Quickly jetting off to the temple, the ninja Garmadon and Wu arrived on the scene, ready to confront the serpents and rescue Lloyd once and for all. As they
How many times have they been to the Fire Temple? This is like the 3rd or 4th time. What the fuck?
Entered the temple, they
the most
found
used
the
place in all of
volcano
it, in
nearing
all of the
eruption,
show.
with lava and rubble falling down all around them. As they entered the inner chamber inside the mountain, the ninja came face to face with Pythor and the rest of his Serpentine, who had claimed the 3rd Fang Blade. Engaging in an epic showdown, the heroes bravely beat back the assembled Serpentine, with Kai being forced to sheath the Sword of Fire due to its presence accelerating the volcanic eruption. But as Constricti tunneled through the mountain, causing spurts of lava to rush upwards, the ninjas soon realized that they had to flee before the eruption consumed them all. Refusing to accept defeat, Kai rushed at the Serpentine, pinning the Fang Blade to the wall as Pythor and Scales were forced to leave. At the same time, Garmadon fought desperately to save his son, blasting through waves of Serpentine in epic clashes to rescue Lloyd and refusing to stop until his son was safe. But as Kai was about to claim the Fang Blade, refusing to stop until his son was safe.
This would be a sick animated wallpaper for like a desktop background,
but
like having the lava be animated and having it, preferably not the Serpentine, probably be like Lloyd and Garmadon or something like that. But that would be a fucking sick wallpaper.
I was about to claim the Fang Blade, the rock underneath Lloyd crumbled, sending the boy careening into the lava. And as Wu and the ninja dragged Garmadon out of the temple to save him, Kai was left with a crucial choice. Claim the Fang Blade, stop Pythor from releasing the Devourer, and become the greatest hero in the realm. Or save Lloyd, a seemingly insignificant child. Over the past few months, Kai had been laser focused on being the greatest hero, becoming the Green Ninja, stopping Pythor. But in that moment, Kai understood what it truly meant to be a hero. And leaving the Fang Blade behind, he leapt from rock to rock in a whirlwind of fiery spinjitzu, sweeping Lloyd into his grasp, and finally unlocking the awesome power of his true potential. Glowing a fiery orange, Kai blasted off from the mountain, Lloyd in tow, rescuing the young boy and fulfilling his destiny. And while Pythor was now able to reclaim the Fang Blade, claiming 3 of the 4 items he needed to release the Devourer, Kai was satisfied that he had made the right choice that would not fill him with regret, and learned to be selfless. It was then that Kai made a stunning revelation. All of his training to become the greatest ninja was not to be the Green Ninja, it was to protect him. And so, to Garmadon's dismay, the ninja placed the golden weapons before Lloyd as they instantly began to glow a brilliant emerald, hovering around him with undeniable proof that Lloyd was the Green Ninja. And as for Garmadon, he was now more conflicted than ever, realizing that the battle lines had been drawn, brother versus brother, and now father versus son. The evil Oni side of his blood was far too strong to turn back now, and Garmadon knew that in time, it would fully overtake his reasoning, and he may be forced to one day battle Lloyd until one of them was ultimately defeated.
He might have become the Green Ninja if he left Lloyd. Technically, no, because the golden weapons are the things that decide the Green Ninja. So, if anyone were to become the Green Ninja had Lloyd not become the Green Ninja, it would have been someone other than those 4 ninja. It would have been, because they're meant to be the protector of the ninja, of the Green Ninja. But I'm guessing if Lloyd had died, then they would have just chosen somebody else who fit the role best. Or whatever.
Stunned by this revelation,
definitely wouldn't have been Kai though.
To think about his next moves, and the rest of the ninja wasted no time in hunting down the Serpentine. Days later, and still no sign of Pythor or the serpents, the ninja managed to track down one Venomari, Spitta, in Ninjago City, who, after being cornered, admitted that Pythor was insane, and releasing the Devourer would mean that all of Ninjago, including the Serpentine themselves, would be consumed. And as the ninja discovered a secret underground lair connecting all 5 Serpentine tubes, it was soon clear that their final battle with the Serpentine was approaching, and if they didn't stop Pythor then, it would be far too late. And so, Ninja, Samurai X, and Wu geared up to descend into the tunnels and confront the Serpentine in their main base, while Garmadon stayed back to protect Lloyd. Rushing into the tunnels, the 6 heroes bravely fought their way through waves of Serpentine, only to be trapped in a massive cage, Pythor revealing himself as having claimed the final Fangblade, and with all 4 collected, he was now ready to fulfill his dastardly scheme. Realizing that the ninja had been captured, Garmadon rushed off for reinforcements, leaving Lloyd to assume his father had abandoned them. Donning the legendary outfit of the Green Ninja and rushing into the caves to save his friends, Lloyd made a brave stand against the serpents, only for them to laugh and belittle him.
For some reason this one has the, for some reason now it has that thing on it.
Training
all of a
or
sudden.
skill,
I don't know why.
Lloyd still had a long journey ahead to becoming a
So far
ninja
we've
at
seen
all.
3 different versions of the Green Ninja suit. There's a lot more to come, but that's really weird.
And just as all seemed lost, sounds of echoing footsteps filled the corridors as bones rattled and axes ringed in the dark. The Skulkin had returned. Led by Lord Garmadon, who had returned to the underworld to recruit his old army to fight the snakes, the Skulkin had been itching for a battle, and given the chance to take down the Serpentine, many of whom they had fought while still alive, the undead warriors leapt at the chance. Rushing into battle against the combined might of all the Serpentine tribes, the Skulkin provided enough time for the ninja to escape and join the fray, seizing the 4 Fangblades from Pythor and gaining the upper hand. Realizing that he was outnumbered, Pythor quickly turned invisible, plotting his next move while allowing the heroes to think they had won.
See, like, why didn't he do that when he was small? I just don't get it. I really don't, okay? It's such bullshit writing. Like, come on.
And so, the battle was seemingly over. In an emotional goodbye, Garmadon bid farewell to his son, stating that although they were now on opposite sides, he was still very proud of his son, and knew that one day Lloyd would grow to become a great man. The ninja had claimed all 4 Fangblades and prepared to rush off to the only place hot enough to melt them down, Torchfire Mountain. But little did they know that Pythor had snuck aboard, and this victory had left them with all of nothing. Chapter 6.
How long
Devastation
is this?
Of the
Dude,
Devourer.
okay, I still have 14 minutes left. Jesus
The
Christ.
night after the battle,
I was planning for this to be...
Devastation of the Devourer. The night after the battle, a furious...
Okay. I was planning for this to be like an hour and a half stream. So far we're going in the 2. So got probably another 20, 30 minutes left, so... When he was small, probably he can't be invisible. But that does not make... You see, that doesn't make sense. At all. That's bullshit.
Of the Devourer. The night after the battle, a furious storm raged in the clouds above Ninjago. As the Destiny's Bounty hurtled at full speed to Torchfire Mountain, Sensei Wu meditated in his room, spirit smoke filling the air as flashes of the future began to overwhelm him. The ninja surrounded by Serpentine, Wu facing off against Pythor in the city of Ouroboros, and the great Devourer itself rising from the ground. Deeply troubled by these visions, Wu
Favorite
rushed to
snake
ensure
tribe?
all was okay.
I'm a big fan of the Hypnobrai, I think. I think those are the ones that we've seen the most of to begin with. So it's kind of natural for me to want that, or to desire that, or to like that more. But yeah, I guess the Hypnobrai. Maybe the Anacondrai.
Okay,
I don't know.
and saw nothing out of the ordinary. But as the ninja and Nia dined in the meeting room and weathered out the storm, they failed to notice young Lloyd had vanished. For while practicing in the dojo room, Lloyd had been ambushed by the treacherous Pythor, who had snuck up on the
By the
green
throat,
ninja
damn.
while invisible,
Grabbed him by
and
the
left
scruff.
him bound and gagged. Biding his time for the ninja to arrive at Torchfire Mountain, where he had arranged a serpentine ambush on the ground, Pythor slithered away, watching and waiting. The next morning, the bounty finally arrived directly above the mountain, Nia navigating the flying vessel in position while the 4 ninjas solemnly prepared to cast the Fangblades into the fire and end the threat of Pythor and the Devourer for good. But before they had the chance, Pythor materialized on the scene, lashing out at Wu and forcing the ninja to save their old master, leaving the Fangblades for Pythor to claim.
and despite the best efforts of Lloyd, who had managed to free himself, and Nia as Samurai X, who did her best to corner the serpent, Pythor fled the bounty with the fang blades in hand, fleeing on his fangpire copter with scales. Seizing a Ninjago City tour bus and transforming it into a copter with scales.
No. No, 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 no. Not again. No, 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 no. Please, come on. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, God. Why? Tell me why. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartbreak. He fucking... There's no spot for him to have actually dropped in from. Unless he went through the chopper.
Seizing a Ninjago City tour bus and transforming it into a Serpentine fortress, Pythor and his gang prepare to do battle with the ninja, all while speeding to the lost city of Ouroboros to awaken the Devourer. Guns sprouted from its sides while serpent motorbikes poured out of its walls, while the ninja, Wu, and Samurai X fought bravely to catch up with the train and reclaim the fang blades. But soon enough, it was too late, and despite all their efforts, Pythor managed to escape to the city. Was too late, and despite all their efforts, Pythor
holy shit! Just blew him
managed to escape to the city alone, only Wu and Toad to stop the villain by himself. Realizing it was his destiny to face Pythor without the ninja, and hoping to buy his team time to escape and prepare for the coming of the Devourer, Wu left behind the ninja and journeyed with Pythor to the city, where he watched as the maniacal serpent placed the 4 fang blades in unique grooves carved of solid stone. The very ground began to shake. Venom poured from the fangs of the stone serpent, eyes aglow with fury. Rivets and grooves oozed with noxious green fumes, forming intricate spirals and patterns in the rock and stone. As the mad Serpentine Pythor cackled and proclaimed the resurrection of his god, Wu could only watch in horror as a deep growl emanated from deep in the core of the realm.
What the fuck? Why is that in 8K resolution? Why is this scene in 8K resolution right here? What the fuck?
Only watch
look how good that lighting is.
Horror as a deep growl emanated from deep in the core of the realm, rocks cascading down all around him. As the sky darkened and lightning crackled above, the surface of the earth heaved, ripping open as a gargantuan serpent rose from deep within the underground bowels. Now realizing the weight of what he had done, Pythor shrieked in fear, slithering away from the Devourer until he was caught and held by Wu, forcing him to witness what he had unleashed. And just as Kai, Jay, Zane, Cole,
that has got to be the second mistake I've ever seen.
The Devourer bellowed a fearsome roar as it reawakened after years of slumber. And in an instant, both Sensei Wu and Pythor were devoured by its gaping maw. Fearing their sensei was gone for good, the ninja had little time to process before the Devourer turned its attention to them, growing exponentially in size for each object or being devoured. As they fled to the bounty and Nia fired up the engines, the Devourer began its pursuit, burrowing through the ground as it lashed out at the flying boat, which was running on reserve fuel after the chase of the Serpentine train. As Nia expertly navigated the vessel to Scatter Canyon, the ninja desperately threw every item they could offboard to lighten the vessel, coming to the sickening realization that the more the Devourer consumed, the bigger it got. And just when they thought they had lost the serpent, the great Devourer erupted from the ground, slashing the bounty with its spiked tail and forcing the ninja to abandon ship and say goodbye to their home. And in a single powerful bite, the Devourer splintered the bounty, splitting the famed vessel in two and destroying the home our team had grown to love.
The bounty just destroyed so much. That's insane.
The Serpentine fled to the Fangpire tomb, realizing Pythor was mad, and the Devourer would consume everything, including all the Serpentine. Hiding underground as the Devourer rampaged towards Ninjago City, the Serpentine had much to ponder of their recent actions. But the first question on their minds was who would lead them now. And as the Devourer continued its conquest, Kai had an idea. The sound of the sacred flute was incredibly harmful to Serpentine, so why not amplify Zane's recording of the sound to weaponize it against the Devourer?
And so, the ninja sped to Ed and Edna's junkyard, using the Tornado of Creation to summon a mighty ultrasonic raider just in time for the Devourer to appear on the scene. With Ed and Edna gone to a rally in Ninjago City against the Serpentine hosted by Cole's father Lau and his royal blacksmiths, the ninja realized the stakes were higher than ever, with everyone and anything they cared about in the city itself, and they had to prevent the cursed beast from reaching the population center. And so, the ninja hopped in the raider and fired volleys of pure sonic waves at the Devourer, uncovering a weak spot in the center of its head.
By the way, just saying, sound doesn't shoot directly out, it goes everywhere, so technically they don't actually have to hit him with a fucking sound wave. Just say, unless it's a concussive blast of sound, or combined with sound, which it's not, it's just sound. But, whatever, again, science... bullshit, but whatever.
Devourer struggled and writhed in pain, pummeled by the sheer sound waves of the flutes. It used its stinger tail to lash out at Zane, wrecking the ultrasonic raider and ripping off part of his artificial skin, exposing Zane's robotic circuitry beneath. But with the Devourer slowed but not stopped, our heroes had no choice but to retreat and regroup, allowing the dreaded serpent to tunnel through the subways of Ninjago City in a cataclysmic event. The Day of the Devourer, one that would shape the future of Ninjago for years to come. Bursting forth from the ground itself, the great Devourer...
Ninjago loves their Day of the stuff. Day of the Devourer, Day of the Departed. What else is next? Day of Drake? Like, I don't... That's a stupid...
rampage through the city in a terrible attack,
editor, cut that out.
bringing down buildings with crushing blows. As reporter Gail Gossip took to the streets to warn the people of Ninjago City to evacuate, the Devourer continued its rampage, slowly working its way up to even the tallest skyscrapers. And on this fateful day, a child, Harumi, was playing with her ninja toys as her parents watched the news when the building itself began to rumble and shake. As emergency evacuation warnings blasted on the TV too late, Harumi watched in horror as the sun was blotted out by the mottled skin of a massive serpent coiled around the very walls of their apartment. Swept off the ground by her parents, Harumi and her family rushed to the nearest emergency exit staircase, only to find it completely blocked off, destroyed by the Devourer. Panicked, the family made their way to the elevator, only to find it was full of terrified citizens already. Blocking the elevator doors, Harumi's father pushed her inside. As Harumi begged and pleaded with her parents to stay, she managed to grab her mother's hand for an instant. Right before the elevator doors slammed shut, Harumi was whisked to safety, and her parents were left on the crumbling building, crushed by the Devourer. The ninja soon arrived on the scene in the ultrasonic raider, but far too late, for the damage was done and countless lives had been lost. Just as the Devourer was about to consume Ed and Edna in their jalopy, Jay leapt onto the scene, firing dazzling bursts of lightning at the foul beast as Kai sent waves of scorching fire at the serpent. As news crews filmed on,
Man, their pure elemental power is way stronger than the golden weapon.
In their jalopy,
look at that.
They leapt
that's a little baby lightning bolt. That's a little baby. You know what? Have you seen what Jay does later on? That's a little baby ass lightning
firing
bolt.
dazzling bursts of lightning at the foul beast as Kai sent waves of scorching fire at the serpent. As news crews filmed on, Cole hurled cars at the Devourer with the strength of Earth, while Zane attempted to freeze the stinger tail solid, all four ninja firing on all cylinders to slow the beast. Meanwhile, far across the realm, Garmadon had made his way to his old ally Mistake, turncoat Oni from the First Wars. Asking her for traveler's tea, Garmadon was prepared to leave Ninjago and return to the realm of madness when he noticed the desperate battle against the Devourer in Ninjago City playing on TV, and realized that without him, the ninja, the realm, and most importantly, his son, were all likely doomed. And back in Ninjago City, even when Samurai X joined the fray with Lloyd in tow, they were no match for the colossal power of the serpent, seizing the mech and threatening to devour both Nia and Lloyd along with it. Powerless on the ground alone, the ninja could only watch as Samurai X came closer and closer to being devoured, until a deafening bellow ringed forth from the skies, and swooping down through the clouds to turn the tide, the mighty Ultra Dragon appeared. Wielding the powers of ice, fire, lightning, and earth, this Ultra Dragon was the combination of the ninjas' all four previous steeds, who had undergone a metamorphosis in the mysterious spirit caves, combining into one ultimate creature. A steed truly bred for the Green Ninja, the Ultra Dragon put up the best fight against the Devourer yet, swooping in to strike the serpent from all angles while battering it with the power of the elements. But this temporary advantage was not to last, for striking from behind, the Devourer crippled the Ultra Dragon,
What the fuck?
beating it out of the sky with its tail and sending the majestic
damn!
beast plummeting to the ground. As the ninja rushed to ensure their dragon was still okay, Lloyd was the only one to notice his father, Garmadon, solemnly arrive on the scene. Demanding that the ninja give him their golden weapons to destroy the Devourer, Garmadon explained that it was the only way to defeat the terrible serpent. And Kai, who had once been the most suspicious of Garmadon, overcame his pride and was the first to give up his sword of fire, realizing they had no other choice. In that instant,
I have no other options.
Garmadon fulfilled his goal, claiming all 4 golden weapons in each hand, but his thoughts were focused on stopping the Devourer and ensuring his son was safe, and he rushed off to do his part in defeating the serpent, bidding the ninja to keep the Devourer in one spot. And so, Kai, Jay, Zane, and Cole rushed off for the fight of their lives. Baiting the Devourer one by one and looping it around buildings and roads, the ninja used all their skills and tools at their disposal to distract the Devourer, Zane firing blasts of ice from his chest to form escape routes, while Jay hovered in midair with the power of his lightning-infused true potential.
God, I miss when they would actually use all their abilities instead of only shooting out lightning or ice. Like, again, like he's using the fucking, he's flying and teleporting around. Jay, and like Zane is somehow shooting ice with his golden weapon. I don't know how that happened, but he's doing that. Why couldn't they keep those abilities, man?
Sending the serpent winding through tunnels, archways, and passageways, up and down buildings and through roads, the ninja fought like they'd never fought before, and when they were finished, the Devourer was stuck in a loop, biting its own tail and attempting to devour itself. And as the ninja fled on the Ultra Dragon, all they could do now was watch. As the skies darkened, crackling purple energy filled the air, Garmadon appeared on the tallest tower, golden weapons ablaze with light. Finally, Garmadon could take his revenge on the being responsible for his Oni side taking control, the serpent indirectly responsible for so much harm and pain in the realm.
Well, potential ninjas are too OP, they had to nerf him? Probably.
Garmadon plummeted towards the serpent, cackling as he proclaimed vengeance was his. And in an instant, he struck the Devourer right on its weak spot, ripping the great serpent to shreds in a massive explosion that sent its venom cascading over the entire city. And in the aftermath, the Devourer and Garmadon had vanished.
That's way too much, man.
As the sun rose in a new day in the city, the realm was finally at peace. In the wake of the Devourer's destruction, all beings and objects it had devoured were strewn about the city, including Sensei Wu, who had miraculously survived, and rushed to greet his ninja team, who were overjoyed to find their sensei alive and well. But, unbeknownst to the ninja, Pythor had also survived. Skin now bleached a pale white due to the acids of the Devourer's belly, Pythor slithered off, biding his time in the darkness and healing. This foe would prove to be a thorn in the ninja's side for years to come, but Pythor's revenge and his further dastardly deeds are tales for another day. And as the ninja celebrated the defeat of the Devourer, emergency crews swept throughout the city, searching for survivors among the wreckage. In the rubble, an ambulance uncovered the young Harumi, rendered catatonic from the trauma. In a single day, Harumi had lost her home and her parents, and her beloved heroes, the ninja, were to blame for failing to stop the Devourer on time. The only person who had destroyed the Devourer and saved the city in her eyes was Lord Garmadon, and as the years passed, Harumi would grow to revere the Dark Lord in a twisted sense of gratitude for saving the city, desperate to hurt the ninja the same way her world was torn apart on that fateful day. In the aftermath, Harumi, now an orphan, was adopted by the Emperor and Empress of Ninjago, but she remained cold and distant, never growing close to her new parents or becoming accustomed to her new life as princess, still consumed with thoughts of revenge on the ninja. But Harumi was still but a child, and it would be many years until her plans came to fruition, and her story is yet to come.
And with chills.
That, thus ends Chapter 2 of Ninjago Retold,
Jesus.
Rise of the Serpentine. Tune in next time for Chapter 3, Legacy of the Green Ninja. All right, and with that, we have summed up.
I'm excited for the next
episode 2
one.
of Ninjago Retold: Rise of the Serpentine. Stay tuned for episode 3 coming out very, very soon. Legacy of the Green Ninja. And do let me know down in the comments below. What did you think? Did you like this? Did you dislike it? And do you have any questions about the timeline covered? Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate the support, and if you could like and subscribe, be sure to be notified of any new episodes releasing very soon. Stay tuned to DuckBricks for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Bye-bye for now.
All right, and that is episode 2 of Ninjago Retold. Ugh. Are we seeing a bit about season 1 or season 8? That was season 1. Next is gonna be season 2. Yeah. Make sure you go check out DuckBricks. I didn't say that in the beginning. I might be fucked up for that one, but hey, go check him out. He makes a lot of cool stuff. He has a cool team making on a lot of cool projects. So check him out. As for me, well, the next one of this is not planned to come out. It will come out eventually. Maybe within a week or something. Like in the next week, it'll happen most likely. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I also want to do another stream doing something, reviewing something that isn't Ninjago. Maybe go back to something with the Ank Tank wrist and suit over there this time. So yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more of this stuff, then subscribe to me as well. You know, I make some cool stuff every now and then. You know, kind of cool. Yeah. Have a good day, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.